It's Tuesday evening in Dallas, Texas. Beautiful city. Great city. One of the greatest cities on the planet. I will not stand for anything else. I've been seeing in all of this talk in all of this hubbub about the Mavericks shitting themselves and embarrassing themselves yet again. I've seen, for some reason, the city of Dallas is just taken stray after stray, and I don't like it. No, I hate this one. The city of Dallas is getting stray after stray, and I don't like it, man. Not fair. Make this bigger. Okay, everybody. So today, here's my plans for tonight. So, this is the start of something new on this channel. I want to start streaming more frequently where we just talk. Not necessarily just us coming on during games. We can hang out and talk. Is the Slovenia game tomorrow morning? And I am okay. There's no more lo-fi. I guess you guys want to know how shitty YouTube is? You guys want to know how shitty YouTube is? Let me show you guys something. So lately I've been getting Thursday morning. Are you sure it's not tomorrow morning? You're probably right. Anyways. So I'm just chilling. I open up my emails and I see I have at least 12 new copyright claims on my videos. And I'm very confused because I went back purposefully and privatized or straight up deleted after I got my copyright strike, remember? Straight up either deleted or completely made private all of the videos I thought were a little questionable. But then I wake up today and I have 12 new copyright strikes. Finally, I've been trying to get this fucking Modelo open for the last 10 minutes. Finally got it. You have to be smarter. You have to be smarter than the bottle. That's what I learned. But anyways, here's what happened. Here's what I discovered happened. So I'm getting all these claims on all these videos. I even got a claim on my stream yesterday. I'm like, I didn't fucking show anything. Like, I literally didn't show a single thing on my stream. You wanna know what happened? I've been using this synthwave copyright-free playlist forever now. In fact, I even emailed the guy who made it and everything. So I should have zero problems with it. You wanna know what some shitty-ass company did? Some shitty-ass company licensed, downloaded one of the songs, licensed it, and published it as their own. That way they can go on any video on YouTube that has used that song and copyright claim it, so they get all the money from it. They get all the money from it. Now understand this, like I'm barely making anything on mine. So they're not getting shit from me, really. But that's something that happened. No, the time I got a copyright, you can see whenever you get a copyright claim or strike, you can see what it was. And I was looking at usually it is me showing highlights or something. But this time it's this song that is on this copyright free thing. So annoying. Okay, if you guys have not liked the stream, make sure you do so. You know, it helps me out a ton. Here's what we're going to do today. Here's my plans. Here's my plan. Like the stream. But also, I am going to briefly go to our Google Doc. We're going to briefly touch on the moves that happened since I last spoke with you last night. Of course, I in the stream last night and immediately Rashawn Holmes signs. Of course, I in the stream and immediately Rashawn Holmes signs. But I think I'm completely up to date right now with everything that's happened. In a few minutes, I'm going to have one of my friends come on. He's a Lakers fan. He's going to hop on. And we're going to talk about... he's going to hop on and we're going to talk about... What up, Richard? We're gonna talk about the Lakers transactions today and where this leaves them as a team, and then we might do a tier list. Do you guys want to do a tier list to close things out tonight? A tier list, how teams have done so far. Tier lists are always fun. You need to have me on. I do want to start doing callers calling in. I really do. That's something I want to start doing. Maybe our next stream will set that up. I want to set up a streaming schedule. Piss on stream yesterday. It's up there and available for you. It was a 6-hour long stream. Anyways, let's look at some of the stuff that's been going on. We missed you there too, Richard. I'm going to do. Why is it melted? Yeah, I think Should I put it in the freezer? Hold on, guys. I'm getting yelled at. Getting yelled at, guys. Hold on. Okay. We still gonna get Bryn Forbes or what? Who has Bryn Forbes signed anywhere? Has Bryn Forbes signed anywhere at all? Anyways, let's look at what's been going on. All right. No, this is not what I want to show. Here is what's been going on ever since I spoke to you guys. This is where we closed off, right? Did we talk about Ben McLemore signing with Portland? Did we talk about all of these? Did we talk about all of these? Semi Ojeleye, Ben McLemore. Pretty, I don't know. Pretty moves. Ben McLemore. Ben McLemore is pretty good for the Lakers. But I'm not a huge Ben McLemore guy. Semi Ojeleye, you know, whatever. These are pretty non-consequential moves, if I'm just being honest with you. Rashawn Holmes re-signing with Sacramento. Now, I did see, has this been confirmed? Confirmed. Because when this initially came out, it said it was for $455. And then somebody came out earlier today and said, yo, I did the research. This deal is impossible. This deal is impossible. And Rashawn Holmes last night tweeted out, yo, Sacramento, I love you. You know, the usual thing after somebody re-signs with the team. And he apparently deleted that tweet. So I'm anxious to see if this is really, if this is happening. So here's an update. Actually, I just did some digging. Here's an update. Continue to hear the Rashawn Holmes deal is on track. Nothing to be worried about. But it seems like people don't know what it is. Seems like it's up. What exactly the deal is up in the air. Whether it's 455, that was what was initially agreed upon, but 446 is what somebody said it was today. And then after that came out, Rashawn Holmes deleted his tweet, so people assumed, did they not agree? Did they not agree? That happened. Good for Sacramento. This is nothing for Rashawn Holmes. This just goes to show, I think, that teams just don't really give a shit, man. Like, I think we really overvalue the center market. I feel like you're either a center getting a max. Like, you're either, like, getting near a max, like DeAndre Ayton's about to get, or you're not getting shit. That's what it feels like. Slovenia's 2.5-point faves over France. That would be nuts. If they win, I guess Thursday morning, and they're guaranteed a medal. That would be nuts. To never make the Olympics ever, then to qualify for the first time, you've never lost a game with Luka Doncic on the team, and then you get a medal in your first Olympics. That's pretty remarkable. But yes, Rashawn Holmes, really good deal for Sacramento. And he seems to be happy in Sacramento, so that's nice for them. Anytime you can keep a guy who wants to be in Sacramento, you do it. So I don't know what happens next. They've been shopping. Streaming the Hall of Fame game? Is that Thursday too? Is that this Thursday? Wait, is that this Thursday? I totally fucking forgot about that. Is that this week? Oh, hell yeah, for sure. For sure, I'm going to stream the Hall of Fame game. That game sucks though. That game is like not even really watchable, but I'll stream it though. It's Cowboy stuff. It's Cowboy stuff. But anyways, Gabe Vincent resigns with Miami. All right. Otto Porter with Golden State. That's a nice signing. I like that. I really do. The Golden State Warriors have struck out a bit. I mean, they had a nice day. They had a nice day, right? Obviously, Steph signed his big extension. That's down here somewhere. But Otto Porter is a nice guy. A nice guy to get for a minimum contract. But it does kind of feel like the days of Golden State bringing in all the ring chasers is gone and behind us. Spencer Dinwiddie signs with Washington. This is what has been agreed to, it sounds like. It sounds like they still haven't cleared up the space. So they're going to have to get pretty creative. Rock Howard, thank you for subscribing to my Twitch. I don't know how we're going to do Twitch from here on out. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't know how much I like it. It does feel good to have football back, though. That's for sure. Spencer Dinwiddie goes to Washington. That's a good get for them. I think people are sleeping on Spencer Dinwiddie, honestly. I think he has a great set of skills and tools. A great set of skills to have for a modern point guard. Be able to create his own shot. Not a great three-point shooter, but I think he's still a really nice player. And he's a good passer and all that. Obviously, he has to stay healthy. That's the big concern with him. But a nice get for Washington. Trae Young signs a max extension with Atlanta. Well earned. Shai Gilgeous signs a max extension with OKC. Well earned. I think I'm going to make a video on Shai tomorrow. I'm going to try to. I've been doing better with videos lately. I was working on a Shai video before the Westbrook trade. And then the Westbrook trade happened and I couldn't do the Shai video because it would have felt weird. But I love me some Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, man. And I'm really happy he got his well-deserved maximum contract from OKC. If he makes an All-NBA team this year, it'll be 200 and what is that? What is the super one for the rookies? 207, something like that. That's what Trae's was agreed to. If Trae doesn't get an All-NBA team this upcoming season, I think it's 170. It's a big fucking difference. We're talking tens of millions of dollars are on the line for these players. We saw that happen with, who is it? Both Donovan Mitchell and Tatum, right? They both missed out on All-NBA teams, so they didn't get that Supermax one. Luka's already qualified for it, no matter what happens this upcoming season. Andre Drummond to Philly is interesting. We know Andre Drummond and Joel Embiid have a lot of beef, but they get a really solid backup big. You know, I like it. I saw Sixers fans were upset by this. I mean, you lost Dwight Howard. You need a backup big. And it did feel like at times Andre Drummond was accepting his role on the Lakers. James Johnson with Brooklyn. I actually kind of like this. I know James Johnson wasn't that great of a player with Dallas, but I think he fills in a role with Brooklyn, especially Jeff Green gone. Jeff Green's better than James Johnson, don't get me wrong, but James Johnson's like a sneaky good playmaker. You know, he's a veteran presence, a bit of an enforcer if they need somebody to go out there and check Giannis or something. There you go. Taj Gibson re-signs with the Knicks. The Knicks are really just running it back, huh? Is Reggie Bullock the only guy they've lost? Would you say he has a particular set of skills? Yeah, Dinwiddie does have a particular set of skills. I'm on my third bottle of Finney, still waiting for a center in Toronto. You're going to be waiting until Dwight Powell's on your team. I'm telling you that right now. You're going to be waiting until Dwight Powell's there. And I don't think you'll stop drinking after that, trust me. In real life streams are popular on Twitch. Good place for a softball stream. We're on a month break from softball. Lost in the championship game. I don't want to talk about it, okay? I don't want to talk about it. Rodney Hood signs with Milwaukee. Rodney Hood was quite possibly the worst player in all of basketball this past season. If they get like a decent Rodney Hood, then this is a really nice signing for them. Bruce Brown accepts a qualifying offer for the Nets. I like this. I really do like this. For both sides, the Nets get their Bruce Brown's so important for the Nets. They get him back at $4.7 million. Obviously, now he's an unrestricted free agent at the end of this, going into next season. So Bruce Brown's gonna be able to get a bag. Bruce Brown's gonna be able to get a bag here at the end of this upcoming season from somebody. They might have his bird rights after this too. Raptors trading Pascal. I guess he was restricted, so they could have gone over, right? Raptors trading Pascal and other stuff for Cat. No, I don't think. Guys, anytime y'all come in here with Cat trade offers, you are very much undervaluing Karl Anthony Towns. Bjelica goes to Golden State, 1 year, $2 million. Get some shooting, somebody who can stretch the floor a little bit. Rudy Gay goes to Utah. I like that a lot for Utah. I really like that for Utah. feel like Siakam plus Splash Bros would be a very solid combo. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of talk about Siakam getting traded. I don't know if there's actual stuff there. But Richard, you were talking about earlier the Golden State Warriors. They should have packaged their picks. They could still trade Kuminga. I mean, they drafted Kuminga at 7. That was probably where he was going to go. Moses Moody at 14 was a nice value pick. They had 14, right? Was 7 and 14, or was it 7 and 12? Either way. Herm, if you're watching this, Herm, I'm in the Discord. If you just want to come in, just come in whenever. Raptors would take Kuminga, Moody, and Wiggins off their hands for Pascal. I think I would do that too if I were the Raptors. But you have to also think, though, too, right? If you're a team like the Raptors and you're trading away somebody and you're getting something in return, you would like to have the picks first. That way you can make your own decisions with it, right? That seems like a lot to give up, though, for Pascal. Am I wrong? Wiseman, Kuminga, Moody, Wiggins, all for Pascal? That seems like a lot. Toronto wants Willie Cauley-Stein. We're going to talk about the Mavs here in a second. Sam Decker is back. I do like this Rudy Gay signing with Utah. Really nice player to have. They lose Niang. Who have they lost so far? Let's go to our handy-dandy spreadsheet. Where's Utah? Here they are. They've lost Niang, and that's it. So right now they've replaced Niang with Rudy Gay. It's a big upgrade. That's most certainly an upgrade. So, they lost Derek Favors as well. But I really like what Rudy Gay brings to the table for this Jazz team. Off the bench, I'm assuming off the bench, somebody who can shoot, stretch the floor, play defense, score, all of that good stuff. Hold on, let me make sure everything's working correctly on my Discord. Yo, what's up? Okay, this is let me turn up the volume here. This is my good friend Herman here. He is a Lakers fan.
What up?
He's been on the channel too before. If any of you are longtime viewers, you know this.
The OG's in the house. Remember Young Herm with his Laker gear.
In the business. Young Herm is a Lakers fan and a Lakers fan before LeBron. We need to point that out.
Yes, sir.
And
Born and raised there.
If I remember correctly, you weren't that big of a fan of LeBron.
He had his moments for me. When he first got into the league, I was a big LeBron guy. Who wasn't? He was supposed to be the chosen one. And then the move to Miami definitely turned me off for quite some time.
Yeah.
Didn't like that move. But when he got back to Cleveland, I was genuinely happy for him in 2016 when he won that title. So he started to warm up on me, and I think I was part of the masses when everyone had their LeBron hate moment in those times in Miami.
I think that was the 2016 was the same with I hated LeBron's guts. But then honestly though, as a Mavericks fan after 2011, I didn't really care that much.
Yeah, you always have something on the guy. So, regardless of what he does for the rest of his career, you experience his lowest moment, and that was the highest for y'all.
Right, I'll always have that.
Yes.
So after that, honestly, him winning every ring would have looked really good for the Mavs.
Honestly, yeah, it makes that team even more special and even more important. It's the only team that really, dethroned LeBron and emasculated him.
Okay, so the Lakers have been busy.
Yes, they have.
I guess I'll let you sort of say what your opinions are about what they've done so far.
All right.
And then I'll chime in after. Just to I know you follow the team more than me.
Yeah, it's a weird start. Really weird start. Couple of things that I was looking for in this offseason was playmaking and shooting. And we kind of answered those questions, but in a really weird ways that I did not think was going to happen. So the Westbrook signing, we definitely get the playmaking, obviously, but he comes with his negatives as well. And then we got shooting as well when it comes to Ellington and some of those other guys too. But we got some negatives from them too, because defensively we're not going to be the team that nowhere near going to be the defensive team we were in our championship season. So
even last season,
even last season too. We're a great defensive season too. We got some positives, some negatives. Interested to see what happens when either when Gasol or Dwight is off the floor. I made like this like impromptu minutes allotment thing. I have Dwight playing like 17 minutes, and if Gasol plays 16 minutes, that leaves like 15 minutes of Davis having to play the five. I'm curious to see how much he wants to do that. We're not going to be that good of a defensive team if he's playing the five. I feel like because that means there's going to have to be other guys out there like Ellington or Nunn or Riza. I don't know, man. I feel like we got some old heads on this team too. I saw a weird stat.
Yesterday, I would have agreed.
Yeah.
But today, getting Kendrick Nunn and Malik Monk on minimums.
Which is crazy. The Malik Monk one was insane. I mean, coming
Nunn's
out of college,
not a minimum, I don't think, actually.
No, I think he got like 5 a year or something like that. But to get Malik Monk, I mean, coming out of high school, coming out of college, that guy was a top prospect, and for him this quickly to be coming on a minimum, I don't know. That probably says some good things about him too.
Yeah.
I mean, he wants to be in a good situation, catch and shoot threes. I think he made like 42% of that this year. All these guys shot in the 40s. For a lot of the guys that we signed shot in the 40s from 3-point line last season. But I don't know. It just feels weird. Defensively, we're not going to be that good, so that means we're going to have to outscore a lot of teams. And then obviously, I mean, the biggest change is Westbrook. What do you think about that?
Here's my opinion on Russ. Here's my opinion on the Russ trade. I think you get better if you look at who I said this in my reaction video. Tell me if I'm wrong. Kyle Kuzma and Montrezl Harrell were not playing minutes on this team next year, no matter what. Both of those guys were gone.
Yeah, Montrez definitely was not going to get any PT.
And you guys were going to trade Kuzma. I mean, you had that deal lined up for Hield anyway. Beforehand. Losing Kentavious Caldwell-Pope hurts.
Definitely hurts.
Definitely hurts. But ultimately, if you're just looking at it from the sense of, all right, the only person in that trade who was actually probably going to be on our team next year was Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and Russ is better than him for sure.
Yes, 100%.
So you definitely improve. But
we do improve. Yeah, it's just gonna feel weird, dude. The space is gonna be weird. I'm curious to see who's gonna be the primary ball handler. LeBron's not. I don't think he's cutting like that anymore. I think we're gonna need Westbrook to kind of be the guy. I have Westbrook playing the most minutes in the regular season at least.
I think Russ is gonna be exactly what you wanted Schroeder to be, where a dude who like LeBron can coast a little bit in the regular season or sit a few games, and you don't have to worry about who's gonna handle the offensive load. Because that's exactly why I brought in Schroeder and Montrez, because most people understood that Montrez was not a playoff player.
Yes, he was going to be there to run 20 pick and rolls a game when those other guys are off the court with Schroeder. And it just didn't work out that way. Definitely did not work out that way last year. But yeah, we have a guy that is like an offense in himself, in one player. So he can make a lot of things happen and kind of coast us through the regular season and not have any injuries like we walked into this past postseason, and hopefully that could be a recipe for success. But I could definitely see myself getting mad at Westbrook, see myself want to go buy his jersey after he freaking obliterates someone and dunks on him. But it's going to be the Westbrook roller coaster. I'm kind of excited for it.
Okay, so yesterday, if you had asked me before yesterday, I was very concerned about the Lakers. I don't know why, dude, because you just knew they were going to get all these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, Malik Monk and Kendrick Nunn is insane.
Right.
That shit, that is almost like the league should step in.
I don't know how they didn't have any other suitors.
Wait, well, I don't understand. The Kendrick Nunn was a restricted free agent.
And I get Miami didn't match him?
For $5 million a year? That shocks me. Unless he was like, I
crazy.
Do not want to play here. Just do not match me.
I can't imagine that. I cannot imagine, especially for being that cheap. I mean, he definitely had his ups and downs, but I still think I would pay $5 million a year for him, 100%.
Yo, yeah, that's nothing. Malik Monk on a minimum is a joke. That's going to end up being like one of the most absurd value contracts in the league.
I like his pace. He's not scared to jump. He's not scared to shoot. And I think he's a pretty confident guy too. Yeah, for us to get him on a minimum contract is, today I was excited because last night I was like, man, our wings are atrocious. Me and my brother were talking about it, and I was like, man, our wings just look atrocious. My brother said something about Ariza before we even signed him, and I was like, bro, if he's gonna be playing 25 minutes a game in the playoffs. Like, I'm not loving that. But if we
No,
can split that up with Malik Monk,
Kent
Ariza, or
Bazemore.
we can Kent Bazemore too can get some playing time too. And I don't want to have to rely on just Ariza, but I don't know. It seems like it's going to be a team that's going to still be playing like nine people in the playoffs, when usually you want to cut down your rotation to about 7.
Yeah. No, I think, but part of me also gets like, what year was that with the Lakers? 2004 Lakers.
Oh my gosh!
Whenever they brought in Gary Payton,
Gary Payton,
Karl Malone.
Karl Malone.
Like, part of me gets this like, oh, this team's gonna be a beautiful disaster. But especially going into free agency, when there was 4 players on the entire roster.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I don't know how they're gonna build it. And now that I'm looking at it, all these moves at the time were crazy, but I'm looking at it and I'm still not that convinced. But I will say, part of me feels it all comes down to AD being healthy. If AD is
100%.
healthy in the postseason and Russ doesn't actively lose you games,
yes,
you should come out of the West.
Yeah, I think so too. The only people I'm really worried about, Kawhi seems like he's going to be hurt for. I don't think he's going to be coming back in time for the playoffs, or he'll probably still be a little bit wounded. But still worried about the Warriors. If Jamal Murray's healthy, Nuggets are kind of scary too. Mavs aren't making any crazy moves, so I'm really not too worried about them either. Yeah, I like our chances to come out of the West. Still scared. I wanted Patty Mills. I wanted Jeff Green. Patty Mills ended up going to the enemies. So, but Jeff Green, has anyone signed him yet?
Yeah, Jeff Green went to the Nuggets.
Oh, damn it. Yeah, I don't like that
nice
at
deal.
all. Okay. I like that. I like that for Denver, but I don't like that for the Lakers. Yeah, I can see them going. I can see them coming out if everything works out well, which is kind of scary. Like, I feel like there's not a lot of room for error for this team because defensively we don't have. That's not our anchor. It's not going to look like it's going to be our anchor. So I think there's more room for error, which kind of scares me.
Right, because you look at, I mean, what would you say? You've lost probably 2 of your best 3 defenders, right? And Caruso
and KCP.
KCP.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like Kuzma was horrific defensively.
No, the dude tried, and that's what I really liked about him the most. I mean, effort. He gave effort every possession.
Right.
I thought he was going to be a cool guy when he came in, but he was he definitely he got down and dirty sometimes, but we didn't replace that with any defensive guys at all. Ariza has defensive IQ, but I don't know if he's really there physically anymore. Carmelo, we know what he's doing on defense. Wayne Ellington, he's not doing much on defense either. So that's the only thing I'm worried about.
After watching the Heat play, I don't even think Ariza's damn near an NBA player anymore. Like, I genuinely, he's just old. What is he, like 35, 36?
Man, I think he's somewhere in his 30s. I'm not sure how old he is, but he's somewhere in his 30s.
Because what Lakers team was he on? He was on one of the championship teams.
Yes, he was with the Lakers
09?
in 08 when we lost, and then he was with us in 09 when we won.
Yeah, he's going to be 36. He is 36. That's up there.
Yeah, our average age is like 34 or something last I checked.
That makes sense though, actually.
Extremely old, really old.
Well, you have like Marcus Gasol, who's messing the average up. Carmelo,
Braun,
Dwight.
Yes. Yeah.
What about Town Horton Tucker? 3 years, $32 million. That's a lot.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at that. It was pretty soon. I didn't think that they were gonna have to pay him this quickly, but I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it because I think he's going to make a jump, and I think he's going to have more responsibility, and he's going to do well with it. But if he doesn't, I mean, this is me having like an optimistic outlook on this next season for him. But if he doesn't make that jump, then yeah, that contract's not going to look very good, and it's already pretty questionable just looking at it now.
I mean, $10 million a year is pretty nuts. That's off potential alone, really.
It is. No, it really is. Yeah, because he's proved himself in glimpses, but definitely nothing in stretches. And I think for this team to do good and to go far, I think he's going to have to actually be a reliable, consistent player for us, playmaking and shooting.
He's your 4th highest highest paid player on the roster.
Get back to me in like January, and I'll tell you how I feel about that.
This roster construction is just hilarious, bro. Y'all are paying $120 million to your top 3.
It's insane, bro. Shout out to the front office for just not giving a damn about the luxury tax, honestly.
Dude, yeah, seriously. I saw something. I don't know if this is irrelevant, but I don't know if the Mavs have ever paid the luxury tax. I think I saw that.
That makes sense. I don't really remember them ever going too crazy in free agency.
That is absolutely damning to me. But okay, you want to know my unpopular opinion? I don't know if this is unpopular, but I was
Let
seeing
me see. Yeah.
everybody gas up Pelinka.
Yeah.
How much credit does Pelinka actually get?
You know what? Yeah, I've been on the Lakers Reddit. Everyone is crowning him the GOAT. But I do give him credit for just pulling stuff out of his ass sometimes, it feels like, because there's many points where I'm just like, oh my gosh, what is the rest of this roster going to look like? And it's kind of came together semi okay. I remember even before last season, coming together with that roster was really funky in the beginning, and then we started signing Danny Green, kept KCP and all that kind of stuff like that, and which helped us. And we signed JaVale and Dwight, and I mean, remember how crazy we thought that Dwight contract was, just him getting signed for to the Lakers.
Yeah.
And he was an intricate part of the team. So he pulls shit together. So, but we'll see how he does. We'll see how he does with this season. I don't want to crown him the GOAT yet. If we can come together and actually put together a good year and get out of the West, then I'll start giving him a little bit more credit too.
But this has LeBron's fingerprints all over it.
It feels like it.
This is exactly how like LeBron in Cleveland was. When like
just get like.
What was that his last year in Cleveland when they had Dwayne Wade?
Yep.
Who all was on that team?
Dwayne Wade got shipped off.
Dwayne Wade got shipped off mid-season.
The middle of the season.
Isaiah Thomas, right? That was that year.
Yeah, Isaiah Thomas. They made that trade to get Clarkson and Larry Nance and stuff.
Dude, LeBron always just ends up on these weird ass teams.
I know. He just, I don't know what it is, if it's impatience or what. I mean, he definitely got THT paid. That's his dog. He definitely got him paid. Melo, of course, you know that too. These other guys were pretty good finds though. So I do give credit to Pelinka for getting Malik Monk on that super low contract. Same with Nunn. Even with Bazemore too. I'll take him for a year.
Yeah, I know. Because what I like to do, I've done it on the stream before, is I like to survey other teams' Reddits, especially after losses. Right. It gives you some really good insight into how teams feel about players. One thing I know for sure, Portland fans are pretty much done with Melo.
Yeah.
It seemed like everybody besides Portland's fans loved Melo. Like, Trailblazers fans were done with him.
Yeah, and that's a good thing to look at. You want to see what the actual team has to say about the team that's rooting for him has to say about the guy.
Oh, yeah. I always do that.
No, it's a good idea. I had a buddy
doing that has actually turned me on Moses Brown, who the Mavericks just got. Because I was like, Moses Brown, the 22-year-old center, that's a nice get for us. And I'm looking at Oklahoma City Thunder fans are just like, yeah, this guy is so overrated. I don't understand it.
Oh gosh,
and
yeah,
like,
not a good start. Not a good start for the Melo thing. But you know what? I'm having optimism coming in this year, bro. I'm gonna try to do that. I'm not gonna anoint us the champs already. I know some other people already are, but I'm gonna have some optimism. Maybe Mac McClung will step up and he'll get some PT or something. Shout out
yeah,
Mac
that's
McClung.
right, Mac McClung. Shout out to Texas Tech.
Shout out to Tech.
Maybe I think I'm a little bit blinded. This is not Texas Tech related, but semi-related. I think I'm a little bit blinded by Malik Monk because he's from Arkansas, and so all of our friends that are from Arkansas are just love the fucking guy to death.
Yeah, I went to school in Arkansas too. So, and when he went to, he ended up going to Kentucky. A lot of those Arkansas people were hating on him because he went to high school in Bentonville.
Was he the guy who the University of Arkansas got his family members like radio shows and shit like that? Do you remember what I'm talking about?
I'm not certain about that. No, I don't think I heard about that. But you know what? That doesn't sound too far off to what Arkansas basketball boosters and people around Arkansas would do. They'll do anything for the state school because that's the only thing they got. I think it was
Malik Monk. It was somebody in the Arkansas area. They hooked up his entire family with a job, and then Malik Monk. I'm next to positive it was Malik Monk. Went somewhere else and they fired his whole family immediately.
Oh damn, dude! It doesn't sound too crazy.
No, but we'll see. I think if you guys are healthy, if you guys were healthy last year, I really do think you came out of the West.
Yeah, I think so too.
I thought you were handling the Suns. You lost game 1. That's Lakers shit.
Yeah.
And then the next 2 games are all LA. And then AD gets hurt.
And AD gets hurt. So Ayton couldn't guard Davis. No one on the team could guard Davis. So yeah, I think we definitely could have came out of the West this year. So but that's a different team than this year, man. And that team last year at least had some some constant players, and now LeBron is the longest tenured Laker on the team. Like like that, which is crazy to me. Like
Did,
that's insane.
did you see that? I saw that tweet earlier, but did you see that person who quote tweeted it and he was like, "No, Luol Deng's cap hold is the longest tenured Laker."
We're still paying that man, bro. Still paying that man. My goodness, that was the year we signed him and Timofey Mozgov.
Oh yeah, that was the 2016 shit show.
Yeah, that was atrocious. It was atrocious.
You know what's crazy? I'm thinking about that. I don't think the Mavs did anything stupid that offseason.
Good for them.
Was that Wes Matthews actually? Was that when the DeAndre saw? No, that wasn't even when the DeAndre Jordan saga happened.
No, that was before that.
Yeah, I don't think the Mavs did anything dumb there. I know they really wanted Hassan Whiteside. I remember that vividly.
Mm-hmm.
Hassan Whiteside and Mike Conley. They didn't get either of them, of course.
Mike Conley signed that crazy contract. I don't know. That sounds
he was the highest paid player of all time at the time, right?
Yes, he was. He became. Yeah, he did. Yeah, I remember that.
That's right. I forgot about that too. Yeah, that's crazy how quick things change,
dude. On a dime. My goodness.
That's true.
I'm excited for the season, though. Excited for the season, man.
Mike and Wes, Baylor, Magic, Kareem, Shaq, Kobe, LeBron, McClung. Legends.
The next Laker great, bro. The next Laker great. They're playing Miami right now in this little California class.
Oh yeah, that's right. That started tonight. All right, let me see if I can find a game. All right, Herm. So what's your prediction for the team? Just give it to me straight, and then I'll let you go.
All right, I'm saying we win about. I'll give us like 58 games. We're gonna finish top 2 in the West, and definitely make it to the Western Conference Finals, and hopefully get to the finals.
Top 2. Who are they competing with at the top?
I'm giving it to the Nuggets.
Dude, I like the Nuggets a lot too.
I'm giving it to the Nuggets. I mean, respect to Phoenix and what they're doing. I mean, it looks like they're going to try to run it back. They re-signed Cameron Payne, re-signed Chris Paul. They're on a stroke of luck. Every team needs some luck to get to the finals too, but no, I think everyone, barring injuries, I think it's Denver and the Lakers in the conference finals, and then probably Lakers Nets in the finals, and we'll see from there. It's gonna be a bloodbath.
I hope so. It seems like every year when we hope for a certain matchup, it never happens. But Lakers and Nets, and except when it was Golden State and Cleveland 4 fucking years in a row.
Yes, that was inevitable. Like,
dude, who is this guy? Omer, your 7 has 25 points and 19 rebounds.
Yeah, dude, this guy's been hooping, bro. I mean, he looks like the largest guy out there, just by far. I have no idea who he is.
Who is this man?
He's a big dude. He's a big dude.
Is there anybody of importance playing in any of these games?
No, Devontae Cook. I mean, and then what's it?
Mac McClung's got 6.
Mac McClung is playing too. So I'm just trying to see what his playing time looks like.
D. Smith? This isn't Dennis Smith, is it? On the Heat?
No.
I don't know any of these guys. Damn, they got Precious, Gabe Vincent. Wow, the Heat have a pretty stacked summer league roster. Yeah, I figured the Lakers would probably have a garbage summer league roster.
Yeah, we're not gonna have a lot of depth there at all. No young guys, no guys we can draft or anything that we're really gonna get a lot of.
I'm trying to see if any of the big rookies are playing.
PT. I'm not sure. I'm sure they will. This isn't officially summer league, but I think summer league's gonna be in Utah or something this year.
Yeah, but this one is Summer League Utah. Oh, wait, this is Utah Jazz white. Why? What's the point of the white? Utah's all white. Get it, guys?
I don't know what this is considered. So, I mean, if it's like the official NBA Summer League, but
yeah, this
looks like it'll be the same team.
I don't know what the fuck this is. When does Summer League even start, actually?
Good question. I think like mid-August. I think it should be soon.
All right, well, appreciate you stopping by, Herm.
Appreciate the stream, man. SBZ going up.
Crazy offseason for the Lakers.
Hey, man, we're here for the ride. It's going to be a good season. We're here for the ride.
All right, brother. Peace out, man.
All right, guys.
All right. That was young Herm, Lakers expert, resident Lakers expert, giving us his opinion on this wild offseason. Giving us Summer League starts on the 8th. So what is this? This is just some fun thing that the guys have put together? Like Jazz white, Jazz blue. What is that? Is anybody of importance playing on these teams? Xavier Tillman. Remember Xavier Tillman? He hit that big shot against the Oh wow. The Grizzlies are actually playing their people. Desmond Bane. Grizzlies are actually trying in this. So that's something to keep an eye on. I don't usually watch Summer League. Sunday Hawks Celtics Summer League. Is that the start of Summer League? I don't usually watch Summer League. That's not actually true. I will watch it sometime. That's not actually true. Prediction for the Mavs, like what, this season or the rest of this offseason, or for the upcoming season? I'm okay. Let me catch up on chat a little bit. We always think LeBron has something up his sleeve, but it never turns anything interesting. Listen, for where the Lakers were, as far as their roster construction is concerned, they went into the free agency with 4 guaranteed contracts. One of them, Marc Gasol. Okay? So to come out like this is not half bad, just to be 100% honest with you. I think the Mavs are a playoff team for sure, regardless of what happens the rest of the offseason. It might be a play-in team. The West has gotten really strong. The Golden State Warriors are going to be in the mix for sure. That's a team you have to look at. Let's just go look at last year's standings, and we can sort of see who's gotten better, who's gotten worse. I can't think off the top of my head any playoff teams from the West that are going to fall off. Usually you'll have like a team or two that was in it, and then they just got worse. Well, let's look. Jazz are still going to be a postseason team. I don't know if they'll be the 1 seed again, but they'll still be a playoff team. The Suns are going to be a playoff team. The Nuggets are going to be a playoff team. The Clippers are going to be, well, actually, I'm still confident the Clippers will be a playoff team. Obviously, they're not going to have Kawhi for a while, so they might be like in this play-in region. They might fall. They might drop a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised by that, but they're still going to be a good team. Portland. It's a question mark. It's a question mark because if Portland is struggling by the halfway mark, does Dame request out? Does Dame request out if Portland's struggling at the halfway mark? They'll be a team to watch, right? Remember last year, they were like a weird team where they couldn't beat good teams. They just beat up on bad teams, but anytime they played a good team, they were pretty terrible. They looked pretty terrible. Lakers will be better than this. This was mainly due to injuries and stuff like that they were down here. Grizzlies, I could see the Grizzlies falling off maybe a tiny bit. Did the Grizzlies get worse? They lost Jonas Valanciunas, replaced him with Steven Adams. That's a downgrade. They brought in Eric Bledsoe. That does nothing for me. But I could see the Grizzlies maybe taking a step back. But also I could see them, Ja Morant getting another year of experience, all this stuff. Them taking it like a leap up. Again, Golden State's going to be good. Spurs will fall off. The Spurs will be terrible. The Spurs will be horrible. So they'll fall out of the play-in. But the Pelicans, they have enough talent to compete. I think the Kings, low-key, have enough talent to compete too, but they are the Kings. Timberwolves are going to be better next year than they were this year. Sounds on the phone. Yeah. Thunder, I still feel like the Thunder can compete if they want to. Honestly. If the Thunder want to compete, they can. But they're not going to be very good, I don't think. And the Rockets are not going to be that great. I think they'll be better than this, though. They could beat the good teams, but bad teams kick their ass, thinking of the Kings. Yeah, they beat the Mavs literally 3 times in the span of 2 weeks. It was infuriating. That was that stretch over like 2 or 3 weeks. The Mavs only lost 3 games. All 3 of them were to the Kings. West is falling off a little bit. It's not as dominant as it once was. Because over in the East, Philly will be in the playoffs. The Nets obviously will. Bucks will. I'm not so sure the Knicks will be in the playoffs again. I'm just going to be 100% honest. Hawks, you would like to think, will be in the playoffs. The Heat will be in the playoffs for sure. Boston, I do not know. I do not know about the Celtics. Wizards will probably drop off a little bit. Pacers, they'll still be in this area, I think. Hornets will probably still be in this area. Heck, Shams. Hey, Hassan Whiteside. Is that what you're talking about? Hassan Whiteside is going to the Utah Jazz. Hassan Whiteside to the Utah Jazz. You want to know something? One of the first comments on this channel's history from like somebody I didn't know was somebody absolutely shitting on me in an NBA video we did a long time ago because I said that Hassan Whiteside was just not very good. This was like 2 seasons ago. This was during the bubble. I said Hassan Whiteside's not very good. He's just is not a very good player. And somebody was absolutely shitting on me. Fast forward a few weeks, The guy signs a vet minimum on the Sacramento Kings and doesn't even play for him. So who got the last laugh? Me. Pistons will still be bad. Magic will be horrible. They'll probably be the worst team in basketball. The Cavaliers are going to be... I don't want to say the Cavaliers will be making the playoffs, but I could see them sort of having this Hornets type of season where they are in this area. I really do. Raptors will probably be bad. The thing is, the Raptors still have a lot of talent. The Bulls should be in the playoffs. So the Bulls don't make the playoffs, then, well, something's gone incredibly wrong. Something's gone terribly wrong. Let's look at the... Let's finish off some of these signings. Again, if you guys have not liked the stream, make sure you do so. I know it's annoying me asking, but you have to do it. I feel like the Mavs got better, though, specifically if they get someone like Dragic. I'll talk about the Mavericks here in a second, okay? I'll talk about the Mavericks here in a second, I promise. But I do agree, they definitely got better. All the Mavs really need is Luka to make the playoffs. That's true. Raptors are the joke of the league with no center. I wouldn't say the joke of the league, but they definitely need a big. I'm telling you, Dwight Powell will be him. So get used to it. Go watch some Dwight Powell. Highlights. Who's playing in the Olympics? Is there Olympic basketball on? I'm gonna be real with you. I don't really give a fuck about any of the other stuff. I've tried. Actually, that's not even true. I haven't tried. The baseball just doesn't do it for me. It's really weird when it's not. Let's see what's on. What's on right now? Primetime track. I do like track and gymnastics is fun to watch. Women's golf, women's park qualifying, skateboard, China and Serbia, women's basketball, and Team USA moments. Again, all I know is the Olympics. They are not fucking around when it comes to copyright strikes. Swimming is fun too, yeah. The sports, I saw this take that was actually a good take. I forgot where I heard it. It was from somebody who I don't usually hear good takes from, but they said it, and I was like, that's actually really true. Olympic sports where the Olympics are like the end goal. It's the highest, most crowning achievement in the sport. Those are the sports that are really good, like track and gymnastics, right? They have their like yearly competitions and stuff, but it's the Olympics are the end goal. Those are the really fun ones. But when it's like, golf, tennis, basketball, even where this isn't the end goal for any of these guys, the Olympics are just things they do because it's cool, represent the country and all, but it's not, they don't go into training every day thinking like Olympics in 4 years, Olympics. Even although like the international, I do love the international rules in basketball. It's so good. It's so fun to watch. Women's volleyball for reasons. Volleyball is incredibly fun to play. 2, it is fun to watch. Same with tennis. In college, I covered tennis for my college newspaper. Robin Lopez, our boy Rolo, goes to Orlando for $5 million, gets a bag. There you go, Robin Lopez. Is he the best scorer? Is Robin Lopez now the best scorer on the Orlando Magic? I'm joking, obviously, but he might be the best big man scorer. That's Robin Lopez. That's what he does. But it's no surprise there. Shout out to Robin Lopez getting a bag. I thought maybe a contender would want him, but I guess I can't imagine too many teams are lining up to pay him $5 million. Abdel Nadir resigns with the Phoenix Suns. Whatever. I do not know who this guy was. Didi Louzada resigns with the Pelicans for 4 years. I have no idea who that man is. I did some research on him, and he was a draft and stash player from Brazil, was it? Yeah, from Brazil. He's only 22. He played in 3 games last year. And from what I understand, from my very, very, very short research that I did, he is a defensive savant. So there you go. He stays for 4 years. I'm guessing it's like $1 million a year. I can't imagine. What if it's 4 years, $80 million? The Pelicans got to give that money to somebody. So Didi Louzada, shout out to him. Orlando's a weird team, just a bunch of mid-young players who are about the same level as everyone. They are in the middle. They are in the 4 years, $1 million. They are in the middle of a youth movement that's been long overdue. So yeah, they are going to be bad for a long time, but it was a long time coming. They were in this weird purgatory of like trying to be the 8th seed every year, just to get trounced in round 1. Actually, the Magic had like a streak where they would be the 8th seed, then win game 1 against the 1 seed, and then just get fucked the rest of the series. They had a pretty long stretch of that, but they needed a youth movement desperately bad. Patty Mills, this is one of the best signings of the day. Patty Mills goes to Brooklyn to be the backup point guard, lead that bench unit. They'll probably even close with them, right? But they get a veteran presence, somebody who's been there before, been in that moment. Knockdown shooter. Really good get for them, man. Really good. I thought he was a foregone conclusion to the Lakers. I thought him going to the Lakers was guaranteed. But that's a really nice get for Brooklyn, man. They lose Jeff Green, which hurts. But you keep Bruce Brown, you keep Blake Griffin, you bring in Patty Mills, and you also bring in who else do they bring in? James Johnson. James Johnson's not that great, obviously, but it's not like you have a lot of options with the amount of money you have. And who knows? From everything I understand, you have to in order for the Spencer Dinwiddie contract to go through, the Wizards have to do a signing trade. So it's still possible. It's still possible for the Brooklyn Nets to get something in return for that. We'll see. But I really like this deal for the Nets. How old is who? Patty Mills? Patty Mills is what, like 35? Something like that? How old is Didi? If that's what you're asking, this guy's 22. Steph Curry signs an extension with Golden State Warriors. With the Golden State Warriors. 4 years, $215 million. Woo! That's got to feel good. I think, most reasonable people knew that Steph Curry was staying with the Golden State Warriors. But it feels good to get that off your... Like, if you're a Warriors fan, it just feels good to have it confirmed. It just feels good to have it confirmed. Because him going into the season as a free agent, as an expiring contract, would have been terrifying. After every loss, you know how Twitter would have been, how SportsCenter would have been, how all of the morning sports talk shows would have been. It would have been absolutely terrifying. So to get this out of the way, fantastic. First player in NBA history to have two $200 million contracts in his career. Okay, Siakam and Dragic to Dallas for Brunson, Colley, and Dwight in a second rounder. Do you take it? Yes. I take that and run. That is, actually, if I accept that, I'm going to prison for robbery. Bob Mills only 32? Really? I just said 35 because it does feel like he's been in the league for my entire life. Melo signs with LA. We talked about this earlier. This seemed obvious. There were some rumors earlier in the day that he was deciding between New York and LA. Didn't this happen last offseason too? Am I misremembering whenever he was deciding between, was it staying in Portland or going to back to the Knicks? The Knicks were involved. I kind of feel like Melo from here on out, if he still plays after the season, is going to always include the Knicks in rumors just to, make Knicks fans feel good and then sign elsewhere. That's just kind of what it feels like. But, this is a nice get for the Lakers, obviously. They don't have a lot of money to work with, limited assets. Melo is a knockdown, catch-and-shoot three-point shooter this past season. Defensively, it's horrible, but he's still a bucket. He's still Carmelo Anthony. He's not prime Carmelo or anything like that, but when he's on, this is what I saw whenever I watched the Trailblazers. If Melo was off, it was a fucking brick factory. But if Melo was on, he's Carmelo Anthony, one of the best scorers to ever play the game. Malik Monk, this one is shocking. Malik Monk's agent has got to get fired. No, you can have it. Malik Monk's agent should be fired for this. I don't care if Malik Monk wanted to do it. There's no way other teams are not willing to pay him more than $1.7 million. But this is a really nice gift for the Lakers. I get Malik Monk has his questions. There's some questions surrounding Malik Monk. His desire to play is one. I understand that. But for a vet min, who cares? If he's a problem, you release him for nothing. I love this deal for the Lakers. Knockdown, catch and shoot player. Fantastic in transition. Dude can dunk. Dude can throw it down. Is the Larry move official? I feel Rob Malik Monk want a ring. He does want a ring. It's not official. There's still some things holding it up. Is it the Mavericks? Are the Mavericks holding this trade up? If so, good for them. Don't take Dragic for nothing. DeMar DeRozan. Here's the big news. DeMar DeRozan to Chicago. Bravo, Chicago. Bravo. I thought you were an underachieving team last year, a good and talented roster last year. And now you have, over the past couple of days, vastly improved your team. Vastly. You are a much better team now, and you solidified yourself for sure as a postseason team. I've seen some people say this is an overpay, and sure it is. But listen, if you're Chicago, you had to overpay. You had to overpay to bring him in, to convince him to not take a cheaper contract and go to one of the LA teams or Miami. So you overpay him to come to Chicago. You give up a decent amount in the sign and trade. I love Thad Young, right? Alfred Camino was a nothing. A future first. That's a pretty decent amount to give up for a player you're about to pay nearly $30 million a year. But I really like this gift for them, man. It makes them a lot better. DeMar DeRozan's still a really good player, and all of the nerds on Mavs Twitter who were crying about the prospect of signing DeMar DeRozan, you guys are going to watch DeMar get nothing but buckets on the Bulls. The Bulls are going to be really good, and then you're going to feel like a dumbass. That's what's going to happen. He's a terrible defender. That's fine, man. He's a bucket getter. He's a hooper. He's a real hooper. But no, I like this. I like the signing. They overpaid, but it's like whenever they sign Zach LaVine to his extension, which I think they're going to, they weren't gonna have money to spend anyway. Like once you sign that deal, you're pretty much stuck without money to spend. So fuck it. It's 3 years too. It's not like a death. You know, that's not like a death knell or anything like that. Was really hoping DeMar DeRozan would go to Dallas. Yeah, there was just no reports on it. I was actually having this conversation with one of my best friends earlier today. We were talking about how he was kind of theorizing that since we really didn't hear the Mavs names in like the DeRozan guys, the Dinwiddie guys, like any substantial reports outside of just the speculative, oh, the Mavericks might be interested for like Fournier, DeRozan, Dinwiddie, Norman Powell. My friend was saying that those players must have told their agents that they do not want to play in Dallas. I said, dude, there's no way. There's no way out of all four of those players the Mavericks couldn't have gotten one of them if they really tried. I just don't think they wanted any of these guys. Why? I'm not entirely sure. I saw somebody talk about this months back on, I don't remember who it was, but it made a lot of sense to me that the Mavericks are very analytically driven, for better or for worse. And DeMar DeRozan is, just looking at, you know, advanced stats and analytics, DeMar DeRozan is not like, he's not well liked by advanced stats. A lot of that to do because of his lack of three-point shooting. He's not a good defender. But you watch him play, and maybe I'm saying this as a Mavs fan, but you know, I've watched a good amount of Spurs games. You guys know I watch a lot of basketball. I see DeMar DeRozan, he has his off nights for sure. Everybody talks about that playing game. That is one game. Like, yeah, he had a bad playing game, but dude, if like we're judging players off of literally one game sample sizes, and I know DeMar has not performed well in the playoffs in the past, but he's not going to be the main guy in Chicago. It's going to be Zach LaVine. Can Raps snag Laurie and play him as a stretch five? Oh, God, no. Oh, my Lord. Laurie would just get demolished. I don't know where Laurie's going to go, honestly. It seems like the Spurs are interested, but you would think if that was the case, they would involve him in this sign and trade, right? Well, Mavs fans want guys like Lowry and CP3 and Conley. All I'm worried about is Luka walking 5 years from now. None of these guys at 40 would convince him to stay. John Collins is perfect. He's 23. Well, one, I can only speak for myself, but one, having a veteran, think about, since Luka's been in the league, right? You had Dirk year one, right? You had Dirk's skeleton. God bless him. Love you, Dirk. You had him year one. Outside of that, you saw JJ Barea too. But outside of that, there's been no real veteran presence on these teams. Like no real veteran presence. Nobody who's a vet who's also like a main contributor. Like Lowry, CP3, and Conley would be, right? I really didn't want Conley that much. But Lowry and CP3 I never even thought of because I didn't think he was leaving. Lowry I did really want because not only are those guys like legitimate veteran presence, provide a legitimate veteran presence and guys who actually contribute and aren't just vets, but guys who actually contribute on the floor and have that experience. But they're also point guards who can create for themselves, create for others, and good defenders too. So that's why I wanted those guys. They fit perfectly. Like Lowry is a perfect point guard to put alongside Luka, because not only can Lowry, you know, have the ball in his hands, create for himself and stuff like that, but he's also a very capable off-ball player, a good catch and shoot player. It would have been a perfect fit. I talked about this yesterday. I don't know how many of you are in here, but for me, getting a secondary ball handler, it makes our team better currently, but I'm looking beyond making our team better. For player development, getting the ball out of Luka's hands while he's still this young will help him out down the line. When he starts to, you know, when he learns as a younger player how to play off the ball, which I think you watch the Olympics, he can play off the ball. Like, that's not a concern for me. That's not a concern for me at all. But I just don't want him to develop these habits where he's 5 years into the league. Every year, he's been the entire offense by himself. But I know I'm kind of in the minority, I know, and this goes against what I've been saying this whole offseason for the Mavericks. I don't want John Collins all that much just because he's so reliant on Trae Young. That's going to be the exact same case in Dallas. He's going to be reliant on Luka for his entire offense. He's a very good player, don't get me wrong. And if the roster was constructed differently for Dallas, I would love John Collins. I would love John Collins. But I'm hesitant to pay a guy because you'd have to max John Collins to prime away. He wants a max one, and anything less than that, the Hawks would match. I'm just not comfortable paying somebody who can't create their own offense that much money. Dinwiddie would work well for the Mavs too. Yeah, Dragic does kind of fit what I just described, but he's not at the level of those other guys. After meeting the Clippers 2 years in a row, the Mavs' biggest rival. I mean, for Mavs fans, yeah, Clippers, no. They beat them in the first round 2 times in a row. They don't give a fuck. They don't care. That's why I'm against calling the Clippers a rivalry for us, because it's kind of embarrassing. Like, a rivalry usually recalls, like, the Spurs and the Mavs are a rivalry. They went back and forth. The Mavs got the better of them at times. The Spurs got the better of them a lot of the times. But that was a rivalry. Yeah, Shea got paid. I'm very happy about that. I'm going to work on a video soon about Shea. I love him to death. I think he's my favorite non-Mav. After me, man, DeRozan was supposed to go to the Clippers, and he didn't. Reggie Jackson probably going to leave. Kawhi could walk. I don't think Clips will cut it. If Kawhi walks, that'd be the craziest shit. Since Kawhi went to the Clippers a few years ago. Like, that would be absolutely insane. I don't see it happening. No, that's a pretty good point, actually. That's a pretty good point about the money thing. I just don't like, again, like I said, if this roster was constructed differently, I would love to pay John Collins and max him out. I would do it. Reggie Jackson is still a free agent, yeah. I don't think Kawhi's walking. I think Reggie's probably gone. I don't think DeRozan was actually going to go to LA. There were reports that he met with him today, and then I saw reports afterwards that DeMar wanted more money, and that it just really couldn't happen. It would have been way too complicated. What else do we have here? Tony Snell to Portland, one year, $2 million, knockdown shooter. Didn't Tony Snell shoot like 55% from 3? Didn't Tony Snell shoot like 55% from 3? Yeah, Tony Snell shot 56% from 3 this past year on 2.3 attempts. I don't think he qualified. Oh yeah, 100% free throw shooter. My guy hasn't missed a free throw in 2 seasons. My man hasn't missed a free throw in 2 seasons. Wow, that's a pretty impressive streak, actually. Obviously, he shot 11 free throws this year, so he doesn't go to the line, but that's nuts. At least a 43 consecutive straight free throws. Would you like Kelly Oubre on the Mavs? For very, very cheap, sure. What I got for Rookie of the Year? It's probably going to be Cade. Not only is he going to have a green light to do whatever he wants, but he was the #1 overall pick, so he'll have the narrative. But I could see like Evan Mobley being Rookie of the Year. I can see Jalen Green being Rookie of the Year. I can see Jalen Suggs being Rookie of the Year. Actually, I don't know. There's too many guards there in Orlando. To be Rookie of the Year, you have to have the hype, 1, and 2, you have to have pretty much the ultimate green light to do whatever you want and not be worried about getting pulled or anything like that. What's your line on Laurie to the Mavs? I really feel like Laurie and KP is so redundant. Like that front court would be hilarious. If it's for cheap, though, I don't mind it. If it's for cheap, I don't mind it. He still has a decent amount of potential. Snell volume too low and he dropped off at the end of the season. Non-factor in the playoffs, disappointing. Yeah, if you're relying on Tony Snell to really be a guy for you in the playoffs, that's probably not good. And the only reason, to be fair, the only reason why the Hawks even relied on him at all was because of injuries. Colin Horton Tucker, 3 years, $32 million. I talked about this. That seems like a lot to me. But if you play with LeBron and you are young and even somewhat good, you're going to get a lot of money. Kendrick Nunn, this is just stupid. This is just a stupid deal. I don't understand why the Heat didn't renounce his rights and then didn't match him. I'm guessing to make the Kyle Lowry trade work, they had to do that. Ish Smith, our boy Ish, signs with the Hornets. I love me some Ish Smith. Good for him. Markieff Morris goes to Miami, the lesser of the Morris twins, but he goes to Miami. That's a nice get for them. And Gorgis Niang signs with Philly. And then we had what? Hassan. So more shooting for the Sixers. We had Hassan Whiteside went to signs with, who was it? Utah? Is that who it was? And then I saw there was another one too. It was some Australian guy. Signs with the Spurs. We know how the Spurs love their Australian guys. Australian center Jock Landell. 2-year deal with the Spurs. So there you go. Those are all the moves today. Those are all the moves that have happened today. DeMar to the Bulls is crazy, man. The Bulls just fucking hit a home run. They knocked it out of the park, man. I'm jealous. I have to admit, I'm quite jealous of what they did. Let's see. Here's some stuff I want to talk about for the Mavs. This is crazy. Tim Hardaway turned down damn near $90 million from the Pelicans. Damn near $90 million from the Pels to stay in Dallas. Love to see it, man. I know I wasn't all that high on bringing Tim Hardaway back. I just thought that it would. I guess I didn't really realize we were trying to be over the cap. But I love it. And for him to take a pretty significant pay cut, I guess, to play with us is fantastic. Shout out to Tim Hardaway. Love the guy. That's what happens every year, Richard. Every year the league just changes dramatically. Think about it. A year ago today, James Harden was on the Rockets. Ben Simmons was still like this. Ben Simmons was still this guy. Like, they didn't even want to trade Ben Simmons for James Harden. Tyler Hero was still his untradeable piece in trade packages. The Mavs, I think if you were to poll a year ago, most people tell you the Mavs probably had the highest ceiling in the league. Like the most potential in the league, one of the brightest young futures. Yeah, that precious block on KD was impressive. Yeah, I mean, it is good. Whenever you see all these free agents that are like, hell no, I'm not playing in Dallas. Are you kidding me? To have one of your guys take a significant pay cut to play here is nice. Mavs Reddit. Mavs Reddit was just absolutely wild in today, man. Look at this shit. First and foremost. Come on. Come on now. This shit was hilarious. What else do we have on the Mavs front? There was some crazy stuff. Obviously, Goran Dragic wants to be here. So again, I feel like that's part of the reason why so many Mavs fans just want Goran Dragic so badly, is because Goran Dragic openly wants to play here. And that's something that us Mavs fans are not familiar with, really. So it makes sense. But I'll say this again. I'm cool with Goran Dragic. At this stage, if you're not making any other moves, just do it, whatever. I really don't want him for $20 million. And it sounds like the Mavs don't want him for $20 million either. But if you're not doing anything else, then it's 1 year. Luka would be happy. As you get a veteran on the team, a well-respected veteran at that. and somebody who, by all accounts, Luka loves and listens to, then that would be fine. I'm cool with that. Obviously, if our offseason is Sterling Brown, Reggie Bullock, and Goran Dragic and Moses Brown, that's bad. That's bad. What do you think about Brunson in terms of our future? I would not be surprised if Brunson is not on this team at the start of next season. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting, is that Brunson might ultimately be involved in one of these trades. Keep in mind, we have to make a trade. We have 5 centers. 5. So we got to be making a move at some point. Playing with him would somehow make Luka even more intense. Yeah. Could the Raptors rework Dragic's contract to make around 11 mil? Our trade exemption alone could get the job done? I don't think they can, no. It doesn't seem like the Raptors are all that interested in doing salary cap, like jumping through hoops for the salary cap for the Heat. I think this is part of the thing Mavs fans are understanding. You have 2 sides of the coin when it comes to Mavs fans. There's really hardly any in between. You have just... I like to call them Mark Cuban's secret police force. These dudes who shill for the team no matter what happens. Like, they will defend any and everything, every decision this team has ever made, they will defend it until their death. And it makes no sense to me. You have those fans, right? Or you have fans kind of like myself, but there are some that are even way worse than me who will shit on this team every chance that they get. You know, I'm definitely on that end a little bit. I'm definitely on the pessimistic end. But you have the super optimist, the secret police force. They're out here pretending like Mavs fans are mad about the Reggie Bullock signing. And I have seen some people mad about it. If you're mad about the Reggie Bullock signing, what the fuck are you talking about? You're going to get an elite 3-and-D player for $10 million. That's nothing. That's a really good contract for a legitimate 3-and-D guy. Something that you don't have. Like, I know Dorian Finney-Smith, we like to say he's 3-and-D. Dorian Finney-Smith's shooting numbers are going to come down. He's just not going to shoot that well. He's just not going to shoot that well. And Maxi's really not as good on defense as some Mavs fans like to think. So I do really like this Reggie Bullock signing. People aren't upset about the Reggie Bullock signing. I think in a vacuum, all of the moves the Mavs have made are good. I don't think any of the moves they've made so far are bad. They traded Josh Richardson. That alone is good. But to trade Josh Richardson and actually get something in return is fantastic. Even if it's Moses Brown. Again, I've done my research the past couple days on Moses Brown. I'm nowhere near as excited as I once was. But to even get anything at all from Josh Richardson, huge win. Huge win. Okay? Good. Sterling Brown, cool. I mean, you signed him for $3 million. Cool. A guy who can shoot, a guy who can play some defense, great. Reggie Bullock, fantastic signing, in my opinion. Fantastic signing. Great. Tim Hardaway, good. I think that's good value for Tim Hardaway. That's around the price range that, you know, Norman Powell got, Gary Trent got, Evan Fournier got, all these guys that you were kind of comparing to. Tim Hardaway. And he turned down less money to play for you. So great. But as a whole, this would be a disappointing offseason. The Mavs don't get much better. That's true, Richard. Again, it's 2 sides of the coin. Like, you have some fans who expect every signing to be an all-star, and other fans who are okay with any and everything. Like, the Mavericks could give Bruno Fernando a $50 million deal, a 3 or $50 million deal, and there will be Mavs fans who are like, dude, listen, man, I just watched one highlight where he dunked once in a preseason game against the Charlotte Hornets. Listen, if we can develop him playing alongside, like, you have those fans. And then you have some fans who are mad about paying Sterling Brown $3 million. It's a mess. I've never seen Mavs fandom this bad. Like, it's a complete and total shit show. It's really bad. It's dire straits. Where can you watch the Summer League? I think they're on ESPN. I'm really not that interested in the Summer League. It's like there's 2 Utah Jazz teams. There's literally 2 different fucking Jazz teams playing currently. What is this? Have you guys been watching this? What is it called? The throwback tournament? Where I guess they have a bunch of like college all-stars or whatever. They're bringing them back. Pretty interesting concept. This is on NBA TV. Again, it's the Spurs versus the Jazz. One of the Jazz teams. And then you have Warriors, Kings. Kuminga and Moody are not playing in this game. Is JJ Redick the best available podcaster? Out of all the NBA players, I like CJ McCollum's. JJ's is good. I don't like Duncan Robinson's really at all. I don't think it's very good. I think Willie Cauley-Stein's going the other way in that trade. Yeah, it sounds. I mean, Dwight Powell has to. That seems to be, if rumors are to be believed, if the Mavericks are the reason the Kyle Lowry sign and trade is being held up, it's because they want to get rid of Dwight Powell, even though some reports say they don't want to. I'm not trying to open Origin. I don't know the last time I played a game on Origin. But that still just pops up every single time. Why not? Dorian a dog. I'm not upset with Bullock so long as we get someone else. Last time we got a guy from the Knicks, it wasn't the big name player that has provided the most. It's THJ. I will always go back to that rumor. I don't know if this is true or not, but Tim Hardaway, was it Tim Hardaway Sr. said it was, that the Mavs called about Tim Hardaway. They had really no interest in KP until they made a call about Tim Hardaway, and the Knicks were like, yo, you want KP? And of course, the Mavs were like, oh, yeah, we'll give everything. And then immediately maxed him without him playing a single minute, put no injury provisions on his contract whatsoever, even though, was it just like a week or two before, Joel Embiid signed a max with injury provisions on it. Like, dude. I think Dorian's a great player. I like, towards the end of the season, I said I want Dorian still. Like, if we go into next season and Luka and Dorian are the only guys from the previous team that were still on the roster, I'm okay with that. I really am. So I love me some Dorian. I just don't know if his shooting numbers are sustainable because it was just such an outlier for him. I guess it could be. Like, it's not like he's shooting step back threes, step back contested threes. He's shooting wide open catch and shoot threes. We thinking Kawhi staying or leaving in LA? He's staying. I don't think. I think if people around the league actually felt like Kawhi was leaving, we would not have seen the moves we would have seen. Like, I don't think the Knicks would have been making moves. I think that they would have been saying, yo, is Kawhi actually leaving? But we see now every single big trade is a sign and trade. You notice that? Every single one, it feels like. Duncan and his co-host don't have good chemistry. It seems like Duncan gets frustrated with them easily. Yeah, I just don't like it, really. I think Kawhi is leaving, but he's the most unpredictable person in the league. I really don't think he is. Again, I think we would have seen the league move a lot differently if people actually felt he was leaving. Oh, staying. Yeah, there you go. What are your early finals predictions for next season? If everybody's healthy, it's got to be the Lakers and the Nets. I mean, it's boring, the boring prediction, but I want to be right. You guys know I'm a savant when it comes to playoff predictions. Everything else, no, I'm not. Playoff predictions, I'm pretty good. That seems obvious to me. It might not be if the Nets are healthy, they're steamrolling the East. That's the way I feel. Remember how they looked in that series against the Bucks before all the injuries started. Like, they were destroying them. Granted, the Bucks started every series slow this past offseason. But then I don't think the Lakers are necessarily unbeatable. I think the Nuggets are a dark horse. If the Clippers had Kawhi the whole season, but he should be back for the playoffs, right? Or around then? What else is it? Oh yeah, this is a report here. Kawhi Leonard wanted to take his time in free agency, meet with some other teams other than the Clippers. The problem with that approach is the franchises who could have signed him, New York, Dallas, Miami, didn't wait on him. That's what I'm saying. I feel like if the league felt as if he was available, they would have gone a lot more slow. They would have acted a lot slowly than they did. Will the Clippers even make the playoffs? I think they're still good enough to make the postseason, or at least be in the play-in range. Well, the Nuggets max out MPJ. That's what it sounds like. Goran Dragic seems to want to play with Luka. No seems about it. This guy has straight up had interviews where he's like, yes, I want to play in Dallas. Yeah, like there's been I don't know why this guy's going on like a press run talking about how much he wants to play with the Mavs. This is exactly the point I'm making. This post right here. I like our moves. People are too thirsty for big names. You already have two big names. That makes you want to slap this guy. If this guy was fucking sitting right here, I'd slap him. I really think I would. Truthfully, I really do. People are too thirsty for big names. You already have two big names. All we need to do is surround them with players that know their roles and are contributors. Yeah, we are down on KP, but let's not act. If he's clicking, he's not a problem. Hopefully this new coaching regime can unlock him. Here's my thing. This is what I've been saying. The moves, again, in a vacuum are good. In a vacuum, all the moves you made, they've been good moves. Like, I can't look at a move and be like, that move, what the fuck are they doing? There's been some moves so far, you're like, what are they doing? Like, why would they make that trade? Or why would they sign that guy that much money? They haven't done any of that. And I can't, and this is what I was saying with one of my friends earlier. You can't be mad at this current front office. You can't. This has been years in the making. This has been years in the making. You had no good trade assets whatsoever to speak of. You haven't really taken the draft or player development, all of that seriously. So you don't have really any good quality young assets on your team. And you fucked up by giving out terrible contracts. Like the Dwight Powell contract was so bad. The KP contract's terrible. You had to do it. I get that. So this has been years in the making. So like me being frustrated at this offseason for the Mavs isn't like me being like, oh my God, Nico Harrison's a bust. He sucks. He's been terrible. Like I'm not saying that. It's been years in the making. And it's partially why I'm not yelling and shit, because I expected this. Like, there wasn't much for the Mavs to do this offseason. You know what I mean? And it's also, the Kristaps Porzingis trade ruined you. It ruined you. Because you were already, like, you burned pretty much every single asset you had on that KP trade. And when the trade did not work out, you know, you got Tim Hardaway back in return. That's good. You know, Tim Hardaway is definitely a plus player. I would say you got in that trade deal so far. What did the Knicks get? So the Knicks had the Mavs pick this year. That was the first year they had. They ended up trading that pick, right? Did they even pick with that pick? Anyways, out of all the players that were involved in that trade, the Mavs definitely had the best two. But for everything they gave up, I don't think it was necessarily worth it. But some other teams can survive terrible trades. The Mavs can't, because you just got rid of all of your assets and you have done zero asset. You've done nothing to obtain more assets over the past few years. So once KP failed and you needed to make other moves to adjust, right? You needed we need an actual legitimate number two, and maybe bringing in a legitimate number two can expand our team even more, because then KP goes to a smaller role as a three, and maybe he sells in that role, and all this other stuff happens. The snowball effect. Luka doesn't need the ball in his hands that much. He's much more effective in the fourth quarter. All of this stuff happens. You can't do that because you don't have shit. You literally can't, like, that's why I'm not that mad at this front office this year. You can't make moves. They can't do anything. They're literally handcuffed by the terrible, terrible, terrible roster building techniques of this team over the past 10 years. This team moves and operates as if they are located in Miami or they are located in Los Angeles. They are located in Dallas, Texas. And listen, I've seen some people slandering Dallas, Texas on the timeline over the past couple of days. That's not cool. Dallas, Texas is a great city, okay? You'd be lucky to live here. But it's not a destination, and this team acts like it is. This team needs to move like the Milwaukee Bucks move. This team needs to move like the Phoenix Suns move. This team needs to move like the Utah Jazz. They need to focus on player development. They need to focus on the draft. They need to focus on trades. Fuck free agency. It has never worked out for you, and it never will. That dream is dead. And you know what? It never even lived. That's what's actually hilarious and sad. It never even lived. You know, if the Mavs had hit a home run free agency signing in like the early 2010s and Mark was still just holding on to that, then maybe I would understand. But they've never made a move. Like, they've never signed any big guy in free agency. So why are they still moving this way? It's just mind-boggling. It is just, I can't even fathom it. It doesn't make any sense. Oladipo's definitely going to sign somewhere. For sure. I don't think he's going to be out of the league. He'll sign somewhere. The trade was good. The contract is bad. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Honestly, we don't even know yet, because the main point of the trade was... the draft picks mainly. So we'll see how those end up panning out. Here's how great our offseason so far. We signed Tim Hardaway Jr. for $14 million less than he's worth. Knicks fans would love to have got Bullock for 3 years, 30. Sterling Brown worth it for 2 years. Moses Brown, A+. So that's what I'm saying. All these moves in a vacuum are good. They don't really move the needle in the way that you want. Because look at it this way. The Mavs are in a different realm now. This isn't like the late 2010s or mid 2010s when Dirk wasn't Dirk anymore, and you're trying to build, but the stakes really aren't that high because you have your superstars in the twilight years of his career. You're just kind of riding it out at this point, right? You obviously want to build a contender, but the stakes aren't that high. The stakes are very high now. Once Lucas puts pen to paper on that max extension, and it even sounds like that he wants to do like a 3-year extension, so in 2024 it can be unrestricted, you are on the fucking clock immediately. There is no time to waste. You can't be sitting here like, oh, maybe next year, guys, next offseason. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Depot's his injury thing is. What, he tore a pec or something like that, right? I mean, I don't know. It's hard to keep track of his injuries, if we're just being honest. I mean, here's the thing. Oladipo's going to sign somewhere on a vet min. It's going to be a good deal. Even if he doesn't pan out, it's going to be fine. And you're getting somebody with a lot of potential. He's definitely going to be on a team somewhere, unless he just straight up does not want to sign for the vet min. Dallas was always linked to point guards. I never understood it. I mean, you got to put some shooters around Luka. I just don't like when people who don't know shit about the Mavericks talk about him. I just really don't. I just don't get it. And then you had, there was another report I wanted to talk about. You had some rumors flying around that the reason this Kyle Lowry trade was held up, again, I don't know if this is true or not, was because the Mavericks actually didn't want to trade Dwight Powell because they love him and he's great for the community. Fuck you. Fuck you. Where did it go? Did this post get deleted? Anyways, there was some rumors going around that the Mavs that this 3-team trade wasn't going through because the Mavs didn't want to trade Dwight Powell. If that's true. Oh, wow. Okay, for some reason, I just came across this, and I thought this was about to say Reggie Jackson. I was like, Mark Cuban does seem to love him. This team just is so fake with their loyalty. I talked about this when I talked about my Rick Carlisle video. This team is so fake when it comes to loyalty. This is the same team that traded a beloved member of the community, Harrison Barnes, in the middle of the game while he was sitting on the bench. Most awkward shit in NBA history. The camera was literally zooming in on him in the third quarter. He's just sitting there. His ass just got traded. Terrible. They traded Jameer Nelson in the middle of a charity thing. Had to pull his ass out of the charity thing. Team's not loyal, dude. They're loyal when they want to be, and then they pretend they're loyal. But actually, the funny thing is, nobody cares. This is not a loyal league. Nobody cares. You're not attracting any free agents by being loyal. By being the guardians of loyalty. Nobody cares. Have you not noticed this? All right, I really didn't want to be that negative. I was actually having a pretty good day. Like, I had one of these days where I get home. I'm like, I was productive today. And then here I am just putting myself in a bad mood. So you know what? You know what cheers everybody up? You know what always cheers everybody up? Rankings. Everybody agrees on rankings. Everybody loves rankings. It's the one thing we can all unanimously agree on. Rankings. They are definitely not a waste of time, right? And everybody cares. Everybody cares about everybody's opinions. I want to do something. Like, I literally just put myself in a bad mood. And it's actually, I just had like a realization. Like, I didn't think I was that upset about the Mavs offseason. I guess I was just suppressing it. I guess I was suppressing my real feelings and I just let them all out. Sorry you guys had to experience that. How are you guys liking these streams, by the way? I want to start doing these more. We just talk. Obviously, it's fun when there's games to watch and shit like that, but you know, there's not always going to be a game. All right, here was obviously some tier list I did once that's saved. I wonder what this was. Mavs and Nuggets in tier A, S tier. Bucks and Raptors in tier A. What do you think this was? Whatever it was, I was being a homer, obviously. Whatever it was, I was very clearly being a homer. Yeah, I know. Is there an example in any sport where an owner has been like super in on player decisions, like personnel decisions, and it panning out? I can't really think of one. Mavs should push for Toronto Fred VanVleet. I mean, I would love that. I really would, but that's just not happening. That would actually be, you know what? No, I'm not gonna let myself do it. I refuse to let myself do it. I was about to just say some delusional ass shit and get my hopes up for things that were definitely never going to happen. I refuse to do it. Is there an easy way to reset this? There we go. All right. Let's do like a tier list. Let's do a tier list of off-season so far. You guys want to do that? This is a mood killer right here. Let's go ahead and just... All right. Okay. All right. Golden State Warriors are somewhat loyal. I think some teams are slightly better than others, but none are truly loyal. Mavs doing that and are in the same boat as the Celtics. Players won't forget that stuff. But Mavs fans have been saying that forever, and it doesn't turn into anything. It wouldn't be too much for Fred VanVleet. I think it would. I don't see any scenario. I mean, the Raptors literally just paid him. Wasn't this his first year on his new contract? All right, tier list for offseason moves so far. Has anybody had a disaster of an offseason? What should these rank? What should these tiers be? What should these tiers be? Not as poppin', but good practice for when things are back at full speed. Oh, true. And this was always kind of my plan for offseason was I wanted to do trades. Like I wanted to do streams where we just talked. I do think there's a future on YouTube for that in just not only in sports but in media period. What would we give for Siakam? We just don't have much to give. If Siakam were available, teams could offer far more. Same thing with Fred. That's the issue, right? When it comes to trading, if any of these guys are made available and on the open market, there are other teams who can easily offer more than we can. It just sucks. That's just the reality, though. That goes back to what I was saying about asset accumulation. This team just has not cared. Think about like the Hawks. Trae Young and Luka were drafted the same year. Both teams, I mean, both of them, I wouldn't say when they went to like desolate franchises, but both guys went to, you know, franchises that were embracing a bit of a rebuild. And look at the Hawks roster now. They were 2 wins away from the finals and have one of the brightest, if not maybe the brightest young cores in the sport. And now the Mavericks are out here just, I don't know, jacking themselves off. I have no idea what they're doing. The Mavs can't even trade a pick. The Mavs can't even trade a pick till 2027. I'm pretty sure. Have there been any other things going on? We're kind of at this stage of free agency where after day one, it slows down to a screeching halt. After day one, it slows down to a screeching halt. It is interesting though. We are very much waiting for the Kyle Lowry move. Dude, if we acquire 1 pick from 2023, we can trade 4 picks. Well, I think we can trade 2025, right? As if we ask the Knicks to remove protections. You might want to consider doing a Sam Hinkie and get some picks from the Thunder. Last year, I was all for taking on bad contracts and getting picks. This is going back to what I was saying earlier, though. There's no time to waste anymore. Once Luka signs that extension, you are on the fucking clock. There is no more restricted free agency. There's no more safety net. And especially if Luka signs a 3-year deal, I'm going to be I will not be able to sleep for the next 3 years. If Luka doesn't sign the 5-year max and instead it sounds like where he's going to sign that 3-year deal, so it can be unrestricted when the new contract hits, the new CBA or whatever it is, I will shit. I will be absolutely terrifying. Of course, the Mavs could always do the old NBA 2K move, sign a cheap guy in free agency and trade him immediately. That wouldn't look very good across the league, huh? That would not be a very good look. What should we call these tiers? I don't want to do SA, B, C, D. I want 2 didn't do anything tiers, but I want them to be different. Like, didn't do anything, but that's okay. And didn't do anything, why? You know, I want those 2 tiers. Those are 2 different things. In the offseason, you cannot do anything and that be fine. Or you cannot do anything and be a dumbass. You know what I'm saying? I think we should have two of those tiers. And then like, what should the top tier be called? I'm thinking something like you improved to something where you jumped tiers. Like the Thunder, for example, went from a middling, play-in contending team to what should be a solidified playoff team. How does the stipend rule work? If we have another team's pick, 2023, can we trade our 2022 pick? I actually don't know how that works. If you get another team's pick, I think it's your own. I think it is your own. But if we ask the Knicks to remove the protections on the 2024 pick, then we can trade our 2025 one. Oh no, it's a 2023 pick. If we ask the Knicks to remove the protections on that, then we can trade 2025. We just can't trade till 2027 yet because the 2023 pick we gave the Knicks is protected and it could convey in 2025. So therefore, you can't trade 2024. You can't trade 2025 because it might be the Knicks. You can't trade 2026. That's the way I think I understand it. It's one of those rules that are very hard to understand, but I guess that makes sense. I mean, I would love the Mavs obviously don't give a shit about the draft. You know what? Let's just punish ourselves a little bit further. Real quick before we start this. Basketball Reference, teams, Dallas Mavericks. Let's look at the draft history, huh? Let's just take a look at how this team's performed in the draft. Why don't we? Okay, here we go. 2020. All right. Josh Green and Tyrell Terry. You notice that you don't see Tyler Bay here. That's because that pick was traded. But also, we're getting rid of Tyler Bay, I guess. So, see you, Tyler Bay. Have a good career elsewhere. Tyrell Terry, of course, barely played at all. Only played, 11 games? And he is apparently in trade talks. Both of these guys are apparently in trade talks for the Raptors. So, yeah, you guys know I love Josh Green, right? You guys know I love Josh Green. Josh Green Cam. We love him to death. But we'll see. We'll see what his future is on this team. This guy, I don't even know who the fuck this guy is. Okay, I have no idea who this man is, but I don't even think we traded this or something. This wasn't an actual pick. So you have to go back to 2018. Luka, right? This was Luka. Jalen Brunson, and then you traded away Shake Milton, who's actually a quality NBA player. So this was your good draft. This is the draft everybody goes back on. Like anytime you say the Mavs are not good at drafting, the Mark Cuban secret police force is like, oh, 2018. So 1 year. Dennis Smith, this didn't pan out. Dennis Smith bounced around the league. I don't want to shit on the front office too much for this because Dennis Smith, this was a great pick at the time. Everybody loved this pick, but did not pan out. AJ Hammonds, I actually remember I had a 2K sim where AJ Hammonds turned into an absolute beast. Is he out of the league? Oh yeah, he's way out of the league. I don't know why. In some random 2K sim I had, this guy turned into a monster. AJ Hammonds, a nothing. Justin Anderson, out of the league. Salman Singh. Never even played. Kelly Olynyk, traded him immediately. Mike Muscala, traded him immediately. I think this was the Shane Larkin year, right? Tyler Zeller, never played for the Mavs. Don't know who this guy is. Jordan Hamilton. You see what I'm saying? Look at this shit. Look at this. This is pathetic. Holy hell. If the Mavs weren't actually, like, if the Mavs didn't fortunately have an all-time great on their team at the time, and they weren't, like, constantly... This is where I'll give the team a little bit of a pass. It wasn't like they had great picks. But if this team did have, like, 5th, 6th, 7th overall picks, like the Kings do, everybody shuts on the Kings, the worst drafting franchise, I promise you the Mavs would be them. The Mavs would actually be worse. Actually, no, that's not true. Nobody can be worse than the Kings. I'm sorry I said that. Nobody can be worse than the Kings. But your best draft pick, your best draft by far is 2018 when Luka fell into your lap by the grace of God, and Jalen Brunson was legitimately a good pick. But this team's just not a good drafting team at all. It's pathetic. Even over the course of 10 years, though, even if you haven't had good picks, you couldn't find just like one decent contributor. Okay, so what are we doing here? What did you say, Muscle Music? B equals underperformance, C equals complex fit, D equals no excuse. I'll go, what the fuck? WTF. WTF. That's like, what are they doing? What are they doing? S is significant. Improvement. That looks horrible. Wow. Who starts as shooting guard for the Kings? Davion or Halliburton? Definitely Tyrese. Donnie had to go. The obsession with big 4 and white dudes so evident when you look at that list. Chasing the ghost of Dirk. Yeah. Jason Kidd seems to be more about defense and player development, so that may help. True. I mean, I'm not... This is what I was saying earlier when I was going on my rant. I'm not ready to shit on the current front office because it's not their fault. They inherited a terrible, terrible situation. I'll do WTF. Like, what are they doing? I can't imagine too many teams being in this tier. I don't think... I'm just... Off the top of my head, when you look at what teams have done this offseason, have any of them done anything, like, supremely dumb? WTF. What should be the tier name for the teams that really didn't do anything but weren't expected to do? I'll go here. I'll go here. Maybe? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Can you put emojis in these, actually? This would be perfect for this one. Like, huh. Huh. Small, I can't see it. Here it is. Huh. I like that one. I'm intrigued, but I'm not ready to say it's a supreme offseason yet. Here I'll go, should I just go by emojis? Should I just go by emojis? Emojis just make it easier, honestly. It means I don't have to be creative. Here we'll go head exploding. Here we'll go, this seems like a good one for the shoulder shrug. Wait, what? I didn't even search. Shoulder shrug guy. Shoulder shrug guy is a good one. This will be like my, This will be my intrigued, but not sure. Just yet. I mean, this, I could just rename this Chicago Bulls. That's actually what I'm going to do. Chicago Bulls. I don't think any other team has had the offseason they have had, honestly. Might just be in a tier on their own. This one's going to be my throw up. Blah. Disgusting. Horrible. What are you doing? And this tier will just be, this tier will be, didn't do anything, but really didn't need to. You know, I'm thinking like, I'm just looking at this like, what team didn't really move the needle all that much? Actually, all of these teams have been semi-active. All these teams have at least done something. I don't know who will be here. Like the Magic. The Magic could probably be here. Like, yeah, they didn't do anything. They brought in Robin Lopez, but I mean, like, it wasn't like they were going to do anything. You know? I might record this separately and post it as a video. Let's just try it out. I'm gonna put my little handy dandy cheat sheet here. My handy dandy cheat sheet. So I know what teams did what. Does this include draft? I was thinking that. Should it? I'm thinking I'm just gonna do free agency. Draft is, there's just too much going on for the draft. And then I could do like a full offseason one later. This will just be the first 2 days of free agency. How's that sound? I'm gonna get another drink too. Actually, no, not. Draft is just too much going on. See, like if I included the draft, then the Magic would be like up here, right? They got Jalen Suggs at 5. That was huge for them. I'll just go based off of offseason so far. 76ers. Here, I think I'm gonna record this for a video actually. Let me make sure all my shit's right. Okay, guys, we are a few days into free agency. There are still some moves to be made, obviously. Some pretty decently sized, you know, free agents. Some pretty decent guys to get on the market. Guys like Lauri Markkanen, they're still available. I mean, is Lauri Markkanen really a needle mover? But, you know, he could definitely be the difference between a not so great free agency and a pretty decent one, right? So I feel pretty confident in grading some of these guys so far. Obviously, there's still moves to be made, but I'm doing a little tier list here based off the first 2 days of free agency. Now, understand that there are different expectations for different teams, right? So some teams did nothing, and that's a good thing. They didn't have anything to do really, and some teams did nothing, and it's a terrible thing. On the flip side, some teams made a bunch of moves that I'm just left like, what the fuck are they doing? And some teams made some great moves. So we're gonna get into that. Here are my tier lists right here. I don't know if you guys can see these clearly. Chicago Bulls. Do I need to explain that, right? This is my little tier. Like, okay, I see the vision. I see the vision. This one is didn't really move the needle all that much. I like some moves. I don't like some moves, but by and large, nothing really to talk about. This is my tier list right here, where the teams really didn't do shit, but like I'm not mad at it, you know. But it's tough to put them in any of these other tiers. And then you have this tier list right here, where it's like, wow, what the fuck is this team doing? What are they doing? Who knows? Hold on, I'm gonna be right back. Okay, I'm gonna be right back. I have to use the restroom. Okay, my bad. I'm back. All right. Houston Rock. What, you don't like the Houston Rock? Okay, so anyways, this tier list right here is for teams that I think are just had a shitty offseason. Admittedly, I don't think too many teams have had that bad of a free agency so far. Like, just looking at it. Sure, some teams haven't made really any moves, but again, some teams, there wasn't that many expectations. So let's start with the Philadelphia 76ers. What do I think of them so far? Obviously, the big deal with them is Ben Simmons. Are they going to trade Ben Simmons? I've been saying I don't think that they're really interested in trading him at all, and you can tell by how absurdly high the asking price is. Like, I don't think Daryl Morey, if he was actually serious about trading Ben Simmons, would be asking for that much. I just don't think so. So I'll put them in this column. They lost Dwight Howard. They replaced him with Andre Drummond, which is kind of funny considering the Andre Drummond and Joel Embiid beef from the past. But ultimately, you know, I don't think they've improved on that much. They did bring back Korkmaz, which I like a lot. And they also just brought in Gorgis Niang. So they get a little bit better. But with the rest of the East sort of gearing up around them, I can't put them anywhere higher than this. Next up, we have the Washington Wizards. Obviously, they've had a busy-ass offseason so far. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm intrigued by it. I like it. I know a lot of people are down on them. A lot of people are clowning them for that Russell Westbrook trade. They're saying Bradley Beal wants to be gone. I don't see it. Like, they definitely downgrade going from Russ to Dinwiddie, assuming the Dinwiddie the sign and trade actually happens. It's not confirmed yet. But you get a guy in Dinwiddie who I think is overlooked. I think he's a good player. Injuries are the main concern with him. But I think this Wizards team should be pretty competitive next year. I don't expect them to be like a finals contending team or anything like that. But they're definitely a team that can compete sort of like they did last year and be in that play-in talk and maybe even a 6 seed. Is that possible for the Wizards? I'm not entirely sure. But I like what they've done so far. And they could still make a bunch more moves. They can still make a bunch more moves. They have, you know, Montrezl Harrell, Kyle Kuzma, KCP. Are these guys who are going to be on their team much longer? I'm not entirely sure. They have lost Russ. They did lose Robin Lopez. We know how much we love Rolo on the show. And then they also lost Ish Smith. We love Ish Smith as well. But I think it's been an intriguing offseason for them. I'm very interested to see where they go from here. The Atlanta Hawks, it's up in the air. It's up in the air for me right now. So I'll put them in this middle tier because I didn't expect them to do much. Right, signing trade to that massive extension, that was a foregone conclusion. That happened. That's good. That's a good move. They did bring in Gorgis Niang for some backup. Gorgis Niang, not Gorgeous Niang, but they brought him in for some backup big depth, which is nice because they're going to be without Okongwu for a while to start the season. I like that move a lot. And, you know, to bring in a guy like DeLon Wright, you also draft Sharif Cooper. I'm not talking about the draft in this, by the way. I'm not talking about the draft. I'm not taking the draft into consideration. But I'm a little bit concerned about this John Collins stuff. I thought this would be wrapped up the second that the clock struck 5 on Monday for free agency. I thought this was something that was going to be wrapped up immediately. So them taking this long is it's concerning me a tiny bit. I think ultimately it's going to be okay, but as of right now, I can't put them any higher. And even if they did, I don't know. I'd still probably put them right here. But it's tough to grade them right now that we don't know what happened with what's going to happen with John Collins. The Trae Young extension was always going to happen, so that's fine. Cleveland Cavaliers, they haven't really done much either. I didn't really expect them to. I do like that they brought in Ricky Rubio for Taurean Prince. That was a nice get for them. Ricky Rubio just dropped damn near 60 points on Team USA last night. That was insane to watch. They re-signed Jared Allen. I like that a lot as well. Outside of that, they haven't really done much. Obviously, they drafted Evan Mobley. But again, this isn't about the draft. This is just about free agency. I don't know. I'll put them there, I guess. I do like them bringing back Jared Allen. That was a bit of a question mark. I think people were about 80% certain Jared Allen was going to stay. But bringing him back on, $20 million a year, that's a pretty good deal for him. 5 years. I love this young core. I'll put them here. This might be a little bit friendly because, again, they haven't really done much. But I'll put them here. Mainly because you're not really expecting them to compete. So the thing about the Sixers is you're expecting them to compete, and the conference around them has gotten much better. Pistons, on the other hand, have had an interesting offseason too. Kelly Olynyk. Bringing in Kelly Olynyk was a little bit shocking. I like Kelly Olynyk as a player. I did say in my preview video that I could see the Pistons getting a random guy from free agency, and they got that in Kelly Olynyk. But I can't say that Kelly Olynyk is like this big needle pusher for them. I don't think they expect him to be. He's definitely a very tradable contract. Somebody who, if he plays well, they can trade for future assets. I'll put them right here for now. I'll put them right here for now. Like, I'm not. Again, this is not taking the draft into consideration, only free agency, I'll put them right here. You know, Kelly Olynyk's great and all, but it's just a Pacers. I really like the Torrey Craig move, but I do like bringing back TJ McConnell too. But losing Doug McDermott hurts. Admittedly, losing Doug McDermott hurts. Now, you drafted Chris Duarte to sort of be a knockdown shooter. Obviously, he's much smaller than Doug McDermott, but I have to give them as well. I'm in this weird spot with the Pacers, dude. I like them a lot as a team. I love Karis LeVert's one of my favorite players. He always has been. So I love him. I love him being there. They have a lot of talent, but I just feel like they need to commit one way or the other. Do they really want to contend, or do they kind of want to hit a little soft reset? It just feels like they're entering this weird spot where they will constantly be a play-in team or around there. Maybe a 6th or 5th seed, but they're never going to actually contend, despite the talent that they have. So I have to put them here right now. Again, losing Dougie McBuckets hurts, right? Because Torrey Craig is not Dougie McBuckets. Obviously, you're paying Torrey Craig, what is it, like $5, $6, $7 million less a year than you'd be paying Doug McDermott. But I'm putting the Pacers here right now. It's just the Bucks. I want to give the Bucks a lot of credit for bringing back Bobby Portis on that next to nothing deal. That was huge for them. But losing PJ Tucker, especially losing him to Miami, really hurts. So I feel like I almost have to put them here as well. Am I wrong? I feel like I almost have to put them here just because while you did bring back Bobby Portis, losing PJ Tucker and what everybody sort of thought was like a foregone conclusion. That PJ Tucker was going to come back on a 2-year, $20 million deal. And then it comes out that you didn't want to go into the luxury tax or something like signing PJ Tucker to that deal would have meant $40 million extra on the luxury tax. You didn't want to pay that. So you're somewhat breaking up a championship team, which I do kind of understand. Like, is PJ Tucker worth that? I mean, the Nets are technically paying like $40 million for the Patty Mills deal because of what it means for the tax. So I don't know. Again, everybody around you is getting better. So far, we can't quite say the Bucks are getting better. So that's why I'm putting them here. Even though I love the Bobby Portis contract, losing PJ Tucker hurts. You brought in Semi Ojeleye. You brought in Rodney Hood, 2 guys that I'm just like, So I'm putting them here right now. Raptors are a big fucking question mark. This might be too early for something like this that I think about the Raptors. The Raptors are a big question mark. We have no idea what's going to come from that Kyle Lowry sign and trade. We have like a decent understanding that it's going to be Precious. It's probably going to be Goran Dragic and Precious Achiuwa for Kyle Lowry. But do they keep Goran Dragic? Like, nobody knows outside of that. So what do we give them? What do we give them? Because other than that, they needed a center. They're not getting it. It doesn't seem like they're getting a center. They're probably going to have to bring back Kim Birch or something like that. They brought back Gary Trent. I like that contract. 3 years, around $18 million a year. That's a pretty decent amount for him. It's just hard to say right now. We don't know what they're getting. I'm going to put them right here. But just know, depending on what we see in this Kyle Lowry sign and trade, they're teetering right here. I'm just going to be honest with you. But just for the time being, I have to put them right here. God, this is going to be where every single team is. I have to put them right here because we just don't know. Mavericks. Here we go again. I know it's boring putting the Mavericks here, but as I've been saying, in a vacuum, I like everything that they have done. You trade away Josh Richardson, and, I thought that you would have to give up something for Josh Richardson. Instead, you get something in return. That's a huge win. I like the Moses Brown signing. I'm sorry, the Sterling Brown signing. It's fine. $3 million a year. That's cool. Reggie Bullock, I love that signing. Tim Hardaway's back. I love that signing. You didn't move the needle enough, though. That's where I get upset. You didn't move the needle enough, but I still can't put them here because they made some decent moves. Do the Raptors belong here? The Raptors actually belong here. That's not fair because we don't have the Kyle Lowry return yet, but you struck out on your centers. You still don't have a fucking center on your entire team. A reputable one, at least. A respectable center. And you're losing you're the greatest player in your franchise's history. That stings, even though you're going to get something in return. But the return does not sound great. So the Raptors go here. Let's be real. Jams, game changer. After hitting a game winner to win the basketball tournament, $1 million prize guard Kiefer Skies has signed a deal with the Indiana Pacers. There you go. Wow. Breaking news as it happens. That changes things. That really does. Denver Nuggets. Where do we put the Denver Nuggets? I love the Jeff Green signing. Absolutely love it. Really good signing for them. They bring back JaMychal Green. I like that. They bring back what's the brand? Will Barton, obviously. They needed to bring him back. That was a must. That was a must for them. They lose JaVale McGee, which hurts you a little tiny bit. You're gonna have to find some of that backup center, some big depth, which I'm sure that they will. They'll get some guy for cheap. I'll put them right here for now. I like what they have done. I would have liked for them to keep JaVale McGee, don't get me wrong. But to bring back JaMychal Green, to bring back Will Barton, that's huge. And to get Jeff Green, that's a really nice get. That is a really nice get for them. So I'll put them right here. I feel pretty confident in that. I feel pretty comfortable doing that. Memphis Grizzlies, of course, their big move came before the draft. Trading Jonas Valanciunas away for Steven Adams, Eric Bledsoe, in order to move up to the 10th spot in the draft. That was a big move. I don't know if I'm going to count that, though, because, again, this is more about free agency. And what have they done in free agency? Have they even done anything? Have the Grizzlies made a single move in free agency? I know that they were tied to Derrick Rose. That obviously didn't happen. I would have loved that. But I don't know how realistic that actually was. Do I not have the Grizzlies on here? On my little cheat sheet? Oh, here they are. Oh, here they are. Yeah, they really haven't done anything. So I'm gonna put them right here. They've done literally nothing. Justice Winslow's gone. That's fine. You draft Zaire Williams 10th overall. Again, this isn't about the draft, and you've done nothing in free agency. Like I don't even think they made a single move. So I'm putting them right here. What up, Marcus? Minnesota Timberwolves. It's hard for me not to put them here. They've done nothing. They have done nothing. I don't think anybody expected them to do much, admittedly. But they've done absolutely nothing. They traded away Ricky Rubio for Taurean Prince. I wonder if that's the best they could have gotten from Ricky Rubio. And they have signed nobody. They've signed nobody. And they're a team that I would like to think wants to compete. They're a team that I would like to think wants to compete. Like, it feels almost like their youth movement's over. They didn't have a first-round pick in the draft a few weeks ago. They didn't have a first-round pick. They have D'Angelo Russell, Karl Anthony Towns, Malik Beasley, Anthony Edwards. The time is pretty much now for this team. So I don't know what the hell they're doing. I know they're Minnesota, so them getting anybody of note is really probably not that realistic. But I would have liked to have seen them at least do something, to try and improve their roster if they really are trying to compete this upcoming season. San Antonio Spurs, they've been busy, obviously. They bring in Doug McDermott. I mean, that is a San Antonio Spurs player to a T, so I like that move for them. Zach Collins, paying him that much money a year is a little iffy to me, a guy who literally does not play. Like, this guy does not play, but there's a lot of upside there. And you're a team that's not really going to be contending. So if you strike out on them, it doesn't really matter all that much because it's not like you were competing anyway. They are full-fledged embracing their youth movement, their rebuild. DeMar's gone. Rudy Gay's gone. Patty Mills is gone. Trey Lyle's gone. Gorgie Dang gone. All these guys gone. They might have some of the biggest roster turnover in the entire league going into next season. They brought in Thad Young. Jeez. They brought in Thad Young in the sign and trade for DeMar. I love Thaddeus Young. I don't know if he's going to stay there, though. That remains to be seen. Alfred Gamino is a nothing to me. Absolutely nothing. Yeah, they're trying to outright the Mavs. Exactly. I'll go... You lose that many players, it's hard to say you've had a successful free agency so far, but I'll go here, right? You're embracing a youth movement, so I respect that. You got a first-round pick in return for DeMar. You're taking a risk on Zach Collins. I think this is a team that is primed for being able to take risks. I might even put them up here. Is that crazy? That I might put them up here? I'm a little intrigued. I'm not going to lie to you. If any other team paid Zach Collins that much money, I don't think I would have liked it. Especially like a team that wants to compete. But if you're the Spurs, I mean, why not take a risk on a guy who could be a legitimate great defender as a big and somebody who can stretch the floor if you stay on the court and you're anything like you used to be. I'm putting him right there. I'm doing it. It's my video. I can do whatever I want. Utah Jazz. Teams have gotten better after losing DeMar. I mean, you didn't have to go there. I really do like bringing in Rudy Gay. You bring back Mike Conley. It's a pretty successful offseason for them. I'll go right here. Like, yeah, I think that they've done good. I'm not like, oh my God, the Jazz offseason is great, but I think that they've done well. Obviously, you're in Utah, so you're not going to be attracting too many big name free agents. You didn't have money to spend really anyway. Bringing back Mike Conley was priority number one. You did it. Congratulations. Rudy Gay is a very quality player, especially for the role you're going to ask him to play. So yeah, I feel very confident putting the Utah Jazz here. I think it's just a pretty solid offseason for them so far. I don't expect too many moves. It does sound like they might trade Joe Ingles or Bojan. That's still an option, but we'll see. We'll see. The Clippers are up now. Obviously, when we're doing this, we don't know what Kawhi's situation is. If Kawhi leaves, obviously it's the biggest disaster to ever happen. But I don't think that happens. I don't think Kawhi's leaving. They haven't done anything, right? They really haven't done anything besides bring in Nicholas Batum. Bring back Nicholas Batum. But that's a great get for them. I think a lot of people sort of assumed that he was gone. And he was a very important player for him, for the Clippers this past season. So bringing him back on a really good deal, that's a really nice get. It's similar to Bobby Portis for the Bucks. You haven't lost anybody yet. Obviously, Reggie Jackson's out there. He's probably gone. Patrick Patterson, DeMarcus Cousins. I mean, those are guys that really didn't contribute all that much. Is putting them here a little too generous? Because, again, they haven't done anything, really. Mavs should be higher? No. Yo, Bias, who do you think is better player, Donovan or Booker? Oh, my God. Suns fans, they really don't like me on Twitter that much. I think Donovan's better than Book, honestly. I really do believe that. Is that a crazy belief? Is that a crazy belief to have? Anyways, speak of the devil, the Phoenix Suns. Here come the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns, their big offseason goal was to bring back Chris Paul. They did that. Good on them. They brought in JaVale McGee. They desperately needed some depth there at center. We saw what happened to them in the postseason once Dario Saric got hurt. That was a big injury that was not talked about that much, right? With all these injuries happening, that was a big one. Because once he went down, they were pretty much fucked. They lose Torrey Craig. That does hurt. You bring in Landry Shamet. I'm not that high on Landry Shamet. You bring back Campaign on a great deal. I'm actually putting the Suns up here. I think they've done really, really good. Didn't expect them to make too many huge moves. Didn't expect them to make too many huge moves, but they bring back Chris Paul. They bring back Campaign on a very, very, very friendly deal. And you get what you desperately needed, big depth, and JaVale McGee, cheap, $5 million, 1 year, $5 million deal. And that's one of the better backup centers in the league. Like, the dude's been on winning team after winning team after winning team, and there's a reason for that because he plays his role incredibly well. So yeah, I think the Suns have done really good. Again, nothing crazy, but they've done pretty good so far. Portland Trailblazers, what have they even done? They brought in Ben McLemore, not really a needle mover to me. Cody Zeller as a backup big. I do actually kind of like that move. Tony Snell shot, what did he shoot? 80% from three this past season. Hasn't missed a free throw in 2 years. You bring in him. Nothing that really moves the needle for you. I don't know where the hell this team goes. I just really don't. You bring back Norman Powell. That was huge. That was your biggest need this offseason. I still think it's maybe possible they swing a trade, but at this stage, I'm just not entirely sure. You lose Zach Collins, but again, Zach Collins never played for you, so whatever. You lose Carmelo Anthony as well. That was probably always going to happen. I don't know. I'm putting them here right now. Like, it's just, you brought back Norman Powell. That's cool, but you desperately needed to improve your roster in a crowded West if you wanted to stay competitive, and they just haven't done that. Why are the Clips in the middle? I'm grading the free agency so far for these teams, and the Clippers just haven't done anything. They brought back Nick Batum, which I thought was really nice for them. So that's why I'm putting them here. They haven't done anything else. Have they even lost anybody? The Clippers have really done nothing. Like, they literally have done nothing. They haven't lost anybody yet. They haven't brought anybody in, and they kept Nicholas Batum. So there you go. Yeah, I mean, you brought back Norman Powell. Did I not say Norman Powell? Did I say something else? You brought back Norman Powell. That was your big move, but you needed to get better, right? I'm okay with giving the Clippers here, right, for only doing one thing, bringing back somebody, but it was Nicholas Batum. It was really important for them. I didn't think that they were going to be able to bring him back, and they did. And they're a team that's they can run it back if they want to. Like, I have no problem with the Clippers running it back. Some of these other teams, what are you running back? What are you running back? You're running it back into the ground? I don't understand the run it back mindset for some of these teams. The Sacramento Kings. So are we sure the Rashawn Holmes, they brought back Rashawn Holmes on a very good deal. Very good for them. Things have gotten a little bit weird, though, where there's conflicting reports on how much money it is. He deleted the tweet. He deleted his Sacramento I love you tweet, so it's a little spooky, but everything I understand, like, this isn't a DeAndre Jordan situation. There's nothing to worry about. So a very good signing for the Kings. They traded away DeLon Wright for Tristan Thompson. Tristan Thompson kind of gave you some, some forward depth, some big depth. I don't even know if he's going to be on the team, though. Like, that just kind of seemed like Rashawn Holmes insurance to me. And now that you re-signed him, because you also went and got Alex Len, too. Now that you re-signed him, do you really need all of these guys? Probably not. Probably not. But I love the Rashawn Holmes signing, so I love it so much that I'll put them right here. That is just great value. Great value. The New York Knickerbockers. Where do they go? The New York Knicks. They're pretty much running it back. They had a long list of free agents. Derrick Rose is back. Alec Burks is back. Nerlens Noel is back. Taj Gibson is back. They lost Reggie Bullock. They bring in Evan Fournier. Around $20 million a year. A lot of money. It's a lot of money for Evan Fournier. I know there are a lot of upset Knicks fans that expected them to make more moves than they did. But I'll put them right here for now. Is that unfair? I feel like some of the contracts they give out might not be great value, to be 100% honest with you. Giving a backup center, Nerlens Noel, $10 million a year, I'm not entirely sure about that. Right? Derrick Rose, that contract's pretty pricey. But I'll put them back here. I mean, they were the 5th seed last year. 4th seed? Were they the 4th seed? They were the 4th seed last year. You're bringing pretty much the entire team back outside of Reggie Bullock, which is a pretty significant loss. But you are bringing in Evan Fournier for some scoring that you desperately need. So I kind of feel like putting them here, but they are teetering right here. I'm not going to lie to you because I'm not like overly impressed. They had the most money to spend out of any team in free agency. I think we have to keep that in mind. They had the most money to spend out of anybody in free agency, and this is how it ends. What do you guys think? New Orleans Pelicans. I think most people want to put them here, and it's easy to understand why. This team, I think, had the second most. They had big aspirations going into free agency. They wanted Chris Paul. They wanted Kyle Lowry. They wanted Spencer Dinwiddie. They end with Devontae Graham. A hard pill to swallow. It really is. I mean, I feel like some of the Zion is upset, Zion is angry stuff is manufactured. Because I really think media wants him out. The media does not want him in New Orleans. They want him in New York. They want him in LA. They want him wherever the fuck else. But where there is smoke, there is fire. And I feel like at some point, you're going to have to start building a better team. Now, they also did get Jonas Valanciunas, which is a big upgrade over Steven Adams for sure. I think do you guys think the Pelicans got better? You lose Steven Adams, Eric Bledsoe. I mean, addition by subtraction, losing Eric Bledsoe. Steven Adams is a decent player. I think he's a little bit overhated at this point in his career. But Jonas Valanciunas is most certainly an upgrade. You lose Lonzo, replace him with Devontae Graham. Lonzo is definitely the better player, don't get me wrong. But Devontae Graham is an electric shooter. A knockdown shooter. Which might be a little bit better for what you're doing, admittedly. You get Tomas Satoransky and Garrett Temple. Garrett Temple's a nice, solid veteran presence, but Tomas Satoransky, those are guys that I don't think move the needle for you at all. And you did bring back Didi Louzada. Huge. I think it might be easy to put them right here, but I'm not going to. I refuse to. I'm putting them up here. I don't think they've had as bad as an offseason as a lot of people think. Just to be honest, I really don't. I don't think they've had as bad of an offseason as some people think. Charlotte Hornets, their big need going into this offseason was center, and I feel like they addressed that pretty well, getting Mason Plumlee. I like Mason Plumlee, obviously Team USA legend, but I genuinely do think he's a bit underrated as a player. So I do like that get for them. You lose Cody Zeller, replace him with Mason Plumlee. Mason Plumlee is a better player. You lose Devontae Graham, that hurts a little bit. You lose Malik Monk, that hurts. So you've definitely, I think, regressed a tiny bit as a team. And you haven't really done anything at all to improve. You brought in Ish Smith. They did bring in Ish Smith to sort of give you some guard depth with Devontae Graham leaving. He can come off the bench for you, I guess. But I don't know. For a young team, right? It's kind of okay because you had too many young players to begin with. So Malik Monk leaving is fine. I didn't think they were really ever going to bring back Malik Monk. Losing Devontae Graham hurts. You did get a first round pick in return for that though, right? You got a first round pick in return in that sign and trade. But I'm going to have to put them here right now. It's honestly hard to not put them right here, right? But I do like the addition of Mason Plumlee a lot. So I'll put them right here, where I just think it's been Obviously, the draft went really well for them and stuff, but I'm not talking about the draft here. I'm not talking about the draft. I'm only talking about offseason free agent and trade moves. Houston Rockets. They brought in Daniel Tice. That is a crazy deal for me. I really like that deal for them. That is a great deal. He's somebody who can help them win if that's what they want, or somebody they can trade down the line. A great contract, very easily tradable contract if they want to get some more assets. They bring back David Nwaba, great defender. They lose Kelly Olynyk. They lose Sterling Brown. You know, I don't know. Like, I wasn't expecting them to do much, but I'll put them right here. I do like the Daniel Tice edition, but it's just like they didn't really do much. They didn't really do much, to be honest with you. Miami Heat. Obviously, this is currently incomplete. This is currently incomplete because we don't know what the deal is with the Kyle Lowry situation. But, I mean, by all accounts, they are getting Kyle Lowry. They get PJ Tucker. They bring back pretty much all of their guys. Dwayne Dedman. They bring him back. He was really nice for him in his limited playing time. He was like really the only player on the roster that actually played well in the playoffs. You bring back Duncan Robinson. Pretty much had to do that. You sign Jimmy Butler to a huge extension. You're going to be paying that man $50 million when he's moving around like he's 50. I think they have to go in the Chicago Bulls tier, right? I mean, they've had a dynamic offseason. A dynamic first 2 days of free agency. Okay. Pacers. No. I don't even remember the fucking guy's name, but you stay there. Chicago Bulls are going in. I'm putting them in this tier. We'll see. I'm not sure yet. Obviously, the Bulls are going in the Chicago Bulls tier. Great job by them. They went from a bubble team, like literally a bubble or a fringe play-in team, to I think they should just be in the postseason. Like, I think setting your sights in the play-in is too low for this team. I think they should easily be a postseason team with the roster that they have currently. You're gonna run out there with Lonzo Ball at the 1, Zach LaVine at the 2. I'm guessing DeMar at the 3, Patrick Williams at the 4, and Vucevic at the 5. That should definitely make the playoffs. So you get some more defense with Alex Caruso to come off the bench, be a lockdown defender for you, hit some shots occasionally. And then on top of that, you lose Thad Young, which sucks. Thad Young is just a really, really solid guy. You lose him, which sucks, but DeMar DeRozan's a better player. No doubt about that. Losing Daniel Tice definitely hurts, especially at like $9 million a year. You would have loved to have brought him back for that much. But you definitely get much, much better. The Bulls are a much better team now than they were 2 days ago. They are the big winners of the offseason for me. Easily. Yeah, that's true. The Kyle Lowry, the biggest obtainable free agent available. The Heat get him. So that pretty much automatically puts them up there. Brooklyn Nets. I actually think the Brooklyn Nets have done a good job. Them losing Jeff Green hurts, but bringing back Blake Griffin's big. You lose Spencer Dinwiddie. He didn't play for you really at all last year to begin with, so that's okay. And again, we don't know the full details. That has to be a sign and trade for everything from what I'm understanding, for that to work for the Wizards. That has to be a sign and trade. So we have to wait and see what the details of that are. You bring in James Johnson, who is definitely a downgrade to Jeff Green, but I think he's going to be a solid player for you. The Patty Mills signing is huge. Absolutely huge. This is another, and you bring back Bruce Brown for the qualifying offer, which is really big as well. This is another one of these teams that didn't make big moves necessarily, but everything that they did as a team that's already probably the title favorite next year if they're healthy, you maybe got a little bit worse because you do lose Jeff Green, but ultimately you make all the moves that you needed to make. Actually, would you rather have Jeff Green or Patty Mills? I think I'd rather have Patty Mills, honestly. I'm not entirely sure, actually. So far, so good for the Nets. The Oklahoma City Thunder, have they done anything of note, actually? They brought back Mike Muscala. I know that. They brought back Mike Muscala. They signed Shea. They signed Shea to the Supermax. Never mind. Great offseason. Fantastic offseason for the Thunder. They could do literally nothing else. And I would say a huge win for the Thunder, signing Shea to that extension. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. After all the trade rumors, Shea signs his deal. Beautiful. S tier alone for that. Chicago Bulls tier alone for that. The Warriors, I think Warriors fans aren't going to like this. Obviously, the signing Steph Curry to that monster extension is huge. Because like I said earlier, I think most reasonable people understood that Steph was staying, outside of like Lakers fans on Twitter. Most reasonable people thought Steph was staying, but just to, you know, it just is such a sigh of relief if you're a Warriors fan, just to see him sign that extension. You do not have to worry about it at all, right? I was saying this upcoming season, every game that you lost, there was going to be an article. Every game that you lost, there was going to be an emergency podcast from some Utah Jazz fan talking about how can we get Steph Curry in here next year. Now you don't have to worry about it at all. You don't have to worry about it at all. But at the same time, you want to compete next year. You want to contend. Did you make enough moves to do so? Bringing Clay back is an addition in and of itself. But we don't know what we're going to see from Clay. He really hasn't played at all in like 2 years. So we do not know what we're going to see from Klay Thompson. I'm sure he'll be fine. But still, there is some uncertainty there. And it's very obvious that you are no longer the ring-chasing destination you once were. I think a lot of Warriors fans expected them to get a lot of these ring-chasing guys like Patty Mills. And it didn't happen. It didn't happen. So what do I do with them? I have to factor in the Steph Curry. Max extension. I'll put them here though, honestly. Yeah, they from what I understand, they're gonna be like close to $400 million in that tax soon, which is absolutely nuts. But do you guys think I'm wrong putting them here? This is a team that wants to contend for a title. I think they're they have the third highest odds. I disagree with that, honestly. They have the third highest odds going into next season on some betting sites. The teams around you, so a lot of the teams around you, a lot of the other contenders have gotten a lot better. And you just kind of are hoping Klay Thompson's Klay Thompson. I really wish you would have traded your picks, but I understand if you didn't get the value you wanted in return. But like if you end the season with Otto Porter and Bjelica are your big guys that you bring in, I'm not so sure that, and you lose Kent Bazemore, who I know Warriors fans hated, but I'll put them here. Celtics. This seems like an easy this tier. You lose Evan Fournier, which really couldn't happen. It's hard putting teams in this tier now because it's like, what would you have done differently? I'm not entirely sure, but that's not why I'm here. I'm not here to speculate and be an armchair GM and say what this team should and shouldn't do. It's more so, where are they going? You know what I mean? Where are they going? You want to contend with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, but it's like, your team is weird. Your team is strange. You don't have that much money to spend. Al Horford's back. That albatross of a contract is back. You brought in Josh Richardson to be your Evan Fournier replacement. Everybody thinks they can fix Josh Richardson. I got bad news for you, man. You can't. Okay? Can't. I think they have to go here. And again, it's not like I would have done this or that. They should have done this or that. It's come out that they want to save money. They want to save money for next offseason. But it's also at the same time like, man, you got Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Like, you have these young superstar level players. And your roster that's surrounding them is it's not very good. And you definitely, I think, get worse. You definitely get worse this offseason. I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel pretty confident putting them here. Where do the Lakers go? Do the Lakers go in the Chicago Bulls tier? No, I don't think so. I'm putting them here because this tier for me, these are teams that I think greatly, I'm mainly looking at these two teams, greatly moved the needle. I mean, they went from being, in the Miami Heat case, like a strong playoff team that I don't think was really contending to a team that could very possibly contend. The Bulls went from a fringe playoff team, a play-in team, to a team that I think should be in the middle of the playoff chase, in that 5-6 range. The Thunder brought in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, automatic S tier in my book. The Lakers were already a contender, already a title favorite. The Russell Westbrook trade definitely made them better. But like I was saying earlier in the show, when the postseason comes around, I want to be sure that Russell Westbrook is not going to actively lose them games. And I'm not so sure about that yet. You do bring in a bunch of great vet men signings. Malik Monk. That almost shouldn't be allowed. Let's just be honest. That almost should not be allowed. Kendrick Nunn. Carmelo Anthony. Dwight Howard. I mean, half the league is on your team now. Trevor Ariza, Kent Bazemore. But I don't know, though. They definitely cornered the market on ring chasers. That is 100% true. Do they go in this tier? I don't think so. Because it's still waiting to see. There's too many uncertainties. Too many uncertainties, I would say, right now. So I'm just going to put them right here. I'm going to put them right here. And then the Magic, Robin Lopez. Robin Lopez, I love that. I mean, I'll put the Magic right here. I'm not putting them down here. I don't think they've had a bad offseason because, again, they shouldn't be doing anything. Like, this is exactly what they should be doing. Nothing. They should be doing absolutely nothing. They should be letting these young guys grow. And in order to do that, you need to not have other guys on the roster that block playing time for them. So that's what you need to do. So I think that was a pretty good gift for them. A pretty good offseason for them. Doing nothing. This is one of the teams I think doing nothing is good. This is how I'm feeling. Realistically, the Pacers. Where do I have the Pacers? Down here. Thunder. I don't give a fuck. I'm keeping the Thunder here. Go Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. This is how I'm feeling right now. All of these teams have made moves of some sort, but I'm just not that sold on their offseason at all. Like, I don't think they move the needle in the slightest. Sixers, again, the rest of your conference is getting better. The Nets are the Nets. The Heat have gotten better, and you have just kind of, I don't know really what was available to them. Again, that's what makes grading offseason so difficult. But you lose Dwight Howard and replace him with Andre Drummond. I would say in that role, that's a downgrade, right? I mean, Dwight Howard is a really great backup center whenever he just locks in and does what he wants to do. Obviously, the guy fouls 15 fucking times a game. Pistons, I mean, I didn't expect much from them in free agency. Bringing Kelly Olynyk was definitely shocking. But they're kind of like the Magic, where you don't necessarily need to do much because you want these young guys to develop a little bit. But they're a little bit closer than that. They're definitely a lot closer to competing than Orlando is. Milwaukee, losing PJ Tucker hurts badly. It definitely hurts. Mavericks are going here. I like their moves, but it's just they haven't gotten that much better. Memphis, again, they've done, they've done pretty much nothing. I like them moving up to 10 in the draft. Losing Jonas hurts, but you weren't going to pay him, so trade him all you can. And again, I don't think they made a move. Portland, I mean, they've made some decent moves, I guess, but again, they're just kind of the same. Very similar to the Mavericks in a way, their offseason. They brought back their shooting guard, or their shooting guard / small forward. And then just brought in a bunch of marginal guys. Pelicans. I know everybody's shitting on the Pelicans offseason. I don't think it's been as disastrous as some people have said. I don't think it's been very good, though. Hornets, I love bringing in Mason Plumlee. I don't love losing Devontae Graham. I kind of want to put the Hornets here. Just because of Mason Plumlee. They desperately need a center. Rockets are, again, this young team. I like the Daniel Theis edition a lot. Golden State Warriors. Steph Curry, extension, fantastic. But I think they wanted to get a little bit better than they have so far. Orlando Magic, again, have done nothing. Pacers, again, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. I want them to contend. I want them to make the right moves. Dude, I've said this before. Brett, I'm in the Discord if you want to hop in and talk about the Mavs offseason. But I've said this before. If any player in the history of the league was going to sign or accept the qualifying offer and say, "Yo, I'll play for $5 million this upcoming season, and I will be a unrestricted free agent," it would be Luka. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would say it's on the back of my mind, but it's on the front of my mind. Like it scares me. It keeps me up at night. It honestly hasn't been that eventful of a free agency now that I look at it. No, it hasn't. I mean, it wasn't like there was that much stuff that could happen, though, to be fair. Like the best free agent was Kyle Lowry. You know what I mean? The best free agent was Kyle Lowry. So it's like Kyle Lowry's a great player. But if he's the best free agent, it's not like it's a great free agent. Who's even left? Kawhi's left. Chris Paul's gone. Kawhi's left. He's not going anywhere though. Chris Paul's gone. As in he's not. He's in Phoenix. Like he's gone off the free agency board. John Collins. This situation's up in the air. Here's the thing about John Collins. He has no leverage. There are no teams left that have money. No team is going to max him. Therefore, the Hawks are like, yo, you're restricted, dude. If you want to go out there, go out there. So he doesn't have that much leverage, and the Hawks really have all of it. Which I don't know if that was the case going into the offseason, but now that pretty much nobody has money to spend, John Collins is just kind of sitting there wanting a max, and the Hawks are like, no. Kyle Lowry, obviously he's off the board. Lonzo off the board. Jared Allen off the board. Mike Conley off the board. DeMar DeRozan off the board. Spencer Dinwiddie off the board. Tim off the board. Dennis Schroeder's available. Who else did the Heat sign? Let's go to our handy dandy spreadsheet. This is such a nerdy ass thing. If I was even halfway as productive during work as I am just doing nothing of importance like this, God, I'd be a millionaire entrepreneur. The Heat have brought in PJ Tucker. Obviously, they're going to bring in Kyle Lowry, but the reason I don't have it here is because... And Markieff Morris. That's who they brought in so far as free agents. And they brought back all of these guys that were on the roster last year. Dwayne Dedmon, Max Strus, Gabe Vincent, Jimmy Butler, Duncan Robinson. Jimmy Butler was an extension. But we're just waiting to see what the details of this Kyle Lowry trade is before I put it on here. Because we know it's going to happen. Jimmy Butler, Bam, Kyle Lowry, Duncan Robinson, PJ Tucker, Tyler Hero. That's a good team, dude. I don't think they beat the Nets, but this is a good team for sure. This is a good team. I think Dragic is a solid pickup. The guy shows up in big moments. I mean, again, in a vacuum, I'm cool with Dragic, I guess. But it's just one of those things where it's like, man, if Dragic is your best addition, like that's just bad. Oh, well, here you go, ladies and gentlemen. Here's some news. Tyler Bay, this is how it's gotten. We are reading a Bulls Twitter page, a Brazilian Bulls Twitter page, to find out that Tyler Bay is apparently on the Bulls. Tyler Bay is gone for whatever reason, unbeknownst to anybody. Sacramento Kings definitely have interest in Pascal Siakam. I did see this earlier. That'd be nice. They kind of have a surplus at bigs, but I guess, you know, none of them are anywhere near the quality of Pascal. But the Mavs, Tyler Bay, wow, this was such a fucking disaster of a trade. Wow. Seth Curry and for Josh Richardson and this pick, they ended up being Tyler Bay, that the Mavs just gave up on. The Mavs just absolutely gave up on him after 1 year barely playing. What a disaster of a trade. I mean, I don't really think Tyler Bay was ever going to turn into anything of note. But wow. Great going, guys. You really knocked that one out of the park, huh? You really knocked that one out of the park. Kings first round picks are worth their weight in gold. Hey, listen, if I'm the Kings, I'm trading. I can't draft anyway. That's not necessarily true. They've actually been a pretty decent. Like, I'm telling you guys. I'm actually telling you guys. Are the Kings a better drafting team than the Mavs? Okay, remember this list that we went over. This pathetic list that we went over just a second ago. Remember how sad it was? Very sad. Very, very sad. Sad stuff. Okay? This is the Mavericks draft. Obviously, 2018 is literally carrying you. Kyle Lowry trade was win by Heat. Oh, yeah, obviously, man. again, calling it a trade, I think, is a little disingenuous. A sign-in trade, you're usually not giving up anywhere near equal return. Now let's go look at the Kings one. Where are they? I think this is going to hurt a lot of Mavs fans' feelings. Davion Mitchell, everybody is shit on this pick. I like it. I think he's going to be a good player. What's up, Shilk? I think he's going to be a good player. Tyrese Halliburton, he's going to be fantastic. Good for them. Demias Ramsey. I know this guy from a mutual friend. What's it, Texas Tag? Justin James, Ignas Brazdeikis. Remember when Ignas Brazdeikis was lighting up Summer League? Remember that? Where was he? Wasn't he on the Magic? Marvin Bagley? Yeah, this was a disaster. Okay, this was a disaster. De'Aaron Fox has been great. Yeah, outside of this, it's been pretty bad, actually. Outside of this, DeMarcus Cousins. So, okay, over the past 10 years, wow, and Hassan Whiteside. But Hassan Whiteside, obviously, did end up playing for the Kings, but this was after being in the G League and bouncing around. Tyreek Evans even had a lot of promise. Looked like that guy. Hey, DeMarcus Cousins, an all-NBA level player. All right. Okay, struck out here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you struck out here. Okay, yeah, sure. You might have struck out here as well. Nick Stockis. Okay, yeah, that was a strikeout. Willie Cauley-Stein at 6. Yep, that didn't pay off. Marquise Chris. Yep, you know, you traded that pick, actually. What was the trade of this pick? Marquise Chris. Yeah, Marquise Chris played on the Warriors this past season. I was about to say, was he on the Warriors? Oh my God. Jesus. What was this trade right here? This trade was for Amon Shumpert. Traded by the Sacramento Kings to the Phoenix Suns for... Oh, this is for Bogdan. On draft night. That's a nice move. That's a nice move, Kings. That's a good move. De'Aaron Fox. Great pick. I love me some De'Aaron Fox. Marvin Bagley. Okay, yes. Yes. This fuck up alone is 20 years worth of mess ups. Legitimately. You could have had a superstar level player. Does Lucas stay on the Kings for 20 years? But you had a superstar level player. This one is bad. Okay, here you had Justin James. Okay, you didn't have a first round pick. Why? I'm not entirely sure. Why do they not have a first round pick here? Harrison Barnes? No. No, couldn't have been. Why do they not have a first round pick this year? What dumbass trade did they make? Who had the Kings pick this year? I don't care. I don't feel like looking at it that much. Tyrese Halliburton, great pick. Again, you look at the Mavs draft history, it's worse than that. I think Luka and Trey are so good they would have made it work in Sacramento, honestly. Like, you look at the Mavs draft history and it's worse. Believe it or not. Makes me sad. Is there like a full transaction list? That would actually be crazy. If they had like a year by year, I'm sure they do. I'm sure NBA does or something like this. A year by year transaction list. Read the comments on the Siakam Kings tweet. There are a lot of trade proposals. Give thoughts. Dude, I don't read fucking Twitter comments. They're so bad. But I will though, just because you asked. Let's see. LMAO, they have nothing to give us. You have nothing to give them. ... Buddy, Bagley healed in a first rounder? Yeah, Kings would do this in a heartbeat, really. Kings would absolutely do that in a heartbeat. Something to work off. Gotta add picks, maybe. More players. Let's see. Okay, 3-team trade. These are usually really bad. So, I mean, the Raptors would have to get at least 4 or 5 first-round picks for this. Why would they do this? What in the world? Dennis Schroeder getting $24 million? Is that just how much he's making this year? And Marvin Bagley, I mean, the Kings would love to dump that contract. Is he making $24 million this year, or is that this past year, or is this like a hypothetical for them? There's no way. Like, those are two bad contracts. Terrible contracts. Like, that is not even moving the needle in the slightest for the Raptors. But the Kings and the Lakers say, hell yeah. Hey, there you go. That might be the worst trade I've ever seen. Yeah. Up there. It's up there. Charlotte's draft history is pretty bad too. But again, I think it would depress some Avs fans. Hallie Holmes plus picks. This is something that it probably will cost. Would you trade Halliburton? Oh, God. And whoa. Hold on a second, guys. We know. No, that's not what I want. We know that Rashawn Holmes deleted his tweet that said, Sacramento, I love you after signing. Could it be? Because there's a trade in the works to send him to Toronto? Toronto was interested in him. They get their guy. They give up Pascal, but they get Tyrese Halliburton. And this is why Rashawn Holmes has been silent after deleting the tweet? Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're onto something here. No, I don't think so. I think that's actually a little too rich for Pascal. If I'm being honest with you. I think that's a little too rich for Pascal. What do you guys think? Dope. Give us Healed, Holmes, Bagley, and 2 firsts. I think I would do that if I'm the Kings, to be honest with you. How good is Rashawn? I think Rashawn Holmes' value is strange because when I was doing some research, right, as a Mavs fan, I was interested in Rashawn Holmes. Everybody on Mavs Twitter told me how great Rashawn Holmes was and that we needed him. So I did some digging. I did some researching. I looked on the Kings subreddit, and they like him. Don't get me wrong. They really like him. He's got an unstoppable push shot. It's unbelievable. But it's the consensus to me was that he was a little overvalued, like by other fans in the league. I think that's apparent by the fact his contract was very small compared to what some people thought. I think I would do this for the Kings, to be honest with you. Healed, yeah, that's yeah, take him. You were about to get, Kyle Kuzma and Montrezl Harrell for him. So yeah, take Buddy Hield. Bagley, yeah, get rid of him. See ya. Worst draft pick maybe in history by the time it's all said and done. Like, the Bagley pick might be worse than the Anthony Bennett pick just because you look at that Anthony Bennett draft and there was nobody really great. There was no great talent. Buddy's got, I think, 2 years left on his deal. It's a bad contract. The Buddy Hield extension was so weird. Do you guys remember that? Like, Buddy Hield was very clearly... Yeah, Giannis was in that draft, but to be 100% fair, like, Giannis was such a project at the time. Like, it wasn't like Anthony Bennett. The reason why the Bagley pick is so bad was because Luka was supposed to be this great prospect, and even Trey was supposed to be this really good prospect. And then Marvin Bagley was supposed to be a good prospect, but you pick him over Luka and Trey, guys who are going to be Hall of Famers. But in the Anthony Bennett one, horrible pick. Like the worst first round pick of all time. Worst first overall pick of all time. No doubt about it. But like Giannis wasn't even looked at as like a top 10 guy. Oh, Victor Oladipo, yeah. Delta Plus trending. I'm going on a vacation soon and I'm very concerned. I'm just going to put it there. Going to Portland. Okay, what could Portland give him? Yeah, Delta Plus. Delta Plus. Next week's going to be fucking Delta Square. Dennis to Toronto. Dennis who? Schroeder? Okay. Pascal to Sacramento. What is it? Who is this guy a fan of? It's got to be the Lakers. Like, there's no fucking way it's not the Lakers. You don't want CJ for Siakam? No, I don't think that you would do that. Portland has nothing they can trade. That's exactly it, man. I mean, it would just be like picks, and probably like Anthony Simons. That's just like, Dear Little, like that's just like, What is your best possible scenario for the Mavs to finish the offseason? Kawhi Leonard. I don't know. It feels like it's going to be Dragic, and that just is what it is, dude. Buddy Hield, Marvin Bagley, and Justin James, Pascal Siakam. Kings throw in next year's first and 2023 and 2024 second round picks. Yes, the Kings do that in a fucking heartbeat. The Kings do that in a heartbeat. DeLon. Okay, DeLon Wright's not even on their team anymore. Is anybody calling him out for that? Yeah, dude's on a different team. DeLon Wright. Oh my god, DeLon Wright got traded for Bruno Fernando and Tristan Thompson. Like, come on, man. Portland should just trade Dame and go young. They would never do that as a small market team. A small market team can only pray for a guy like Damian Lillard. So you just use him while he's there, sell tickets, you know, generate interest in your team. Dragic, Bullock, Brown, re-signed THJ, and Boban finals bound. Yeah, maybe the finals in the play-in tournament. All things Mav, that Twitter account is absolute shit. I've actually been trying to get them to block me for quite some time now. From what I understand, some people on Mav's Twitter have been blocked by that Twitter page. I'm trying to position myself to get blocked by them. That's my goal for this season. I want to get blocked by the All Things Mav Twitter page. That's my ultimate goal. If I can do that, then I'm good. I'm set. Here they are right here. All Things Slovenia. That's actually pretty funny. We would also have Goran Dragic at any price point. Who's fucking saying this? Zoran Dragic? I would take a flyer on Zoran. I'm telling you, that guy could run in the 40-meter dash in the Olympics, 100-meter dash. He looks so fast. Yeah, Dame would have to demand a trade. And even then, I'm going to be real with you. I think GMs are too much of pushovers. If somebody came up to me and said, hey, I demand a trade, I'd be like, you're under contract for 4 years. Well, look. Like this, I talked about Mark Cuban's secret police. This has to be the head of it. Are we tuning in early or staying up with our fingers crossed tonight? Go to sleep. Go to bed. I would have quit if that said Dallas Mavericks. I mean, Hassan Whiteside on a minimum. Fine with me. One of the most annoying trends is the one we make trades for players. They stick around and usually have nothing but great things to say about Dallas. For some reason, the free. This is actually, you know what? This is actually a good point. This is actually a true point, and this is true across any sports. You notice it, a lot of the times when a player plays in Dallas across any sport, they live there afterwards, even if it's for a tiny period of time. But I think part of the issue is this is a play. Dallas is just kind of a place where it's a nice city. It's a great city. It has everything that you want in a city. It's a great place to raise a family. It's a great place to go to school at. You know, have kids that go to school. Great school system in some districts, and it's just a nice city to be in. Things are cheap. The cost of living for a major city isn't that high, even though it is still high, but it's a major city, of course. But if you're a 26-year-old multi-millionaire, there's a lot better places to go. Don't ask. I mean, I don't know. None of these are that terrible, but yes, there are some times where this page will tweet some shit where I'm like, what? Like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, this is a dude who, see, this is what scares me. Anytime a player, good weather, no state income tax, Dallas does not have good weather. Dallas weather is horrible. It's absolutely horrid. I hate Dallas weather so bad. Actually, I saw a really good point earlier today about the no state income tax thing. Guys, we know this for a fact. Rich people don't pay taxes to begin with. Like, rich people find loophole in taxes all of the time. So, I don't think these guys care about taxes. And think about if you're like a star player, right? The marketing opportunities for you in a place like LA are definitely better than they would be for you in Dallas. So, sure, while you might be losing some money in taxes, the money that you would be making, on your the Mavs are 3-1 odds. Nope. I refuse to do it. And you know what? Dude, this was July 19th. Fuck you. This was 3 weeks ago. You hidden replies? I love when there's hidden replies. It's so funny. Orlando Magic should be relocated. Who's getting relocated? I think the NBA would expand before they relocate. Oh yeah, here's actually what I was trying to show you guys earlier. I couldn't find it, but here it is. Supposedly, the reason why this Kyle Lowry deal is getting held up is because the Mavericks aren't that interested in bringing in Goran Dragic because they don't want to trade Dwight Powell because he's beloved around the organization. I don't get it. But you know what? I part of me doesn't believe these reports because there were reports earlier in the week that Dwight Powell was the Dwight Powell, out of any player in the league, there was more trade talk around Dwight Powell than anywhere else. New Orleans wants a publicly funded arena. I fucking hate publicly funded arenas. The Rangers just built I think $500 million of it was publicly funded, and it looks like a goddamn grill. Goran Dragic for Powell is bad. For who? For the Raptors, I would agree. Are you still streaming? I don't know. I am about to end it. I'm just rambling on about nothing at this point. Here's my opinion about DeMar DeRozan. It's very similar to what I said about Mavs relocating to Slovenia. They'd have the best home court advantage. They'd have the best home court advantage. But listen, the Mavs trading for Kemba would actually make some sense. I could definitely kind of see it. Oh yeah, apparently Trey Lance was absolutely lighting it up. Trey Lance was absolutely lighting it up. Well, I've been so out of the loop on NFL. Did Garoppolo end up getting traded? Did Jimmy G end up getting traded anywhere? Yeah, okay, he did. He didn't. So I thought. I just wanted to double check and make sure. Well, all right, guys. Pretty crazy day in free agency. DeMar DeRozan goes to Chicago. I don't hate Kemba, but I'm not jumping up and down at the prospect of signing him or trading for him, I guess I should say. Mavs do nothing, literally nothing today. Mavs do literally nothing, which is, stop me if you heard that before. The Lakers signed 15 guys to veteran minimum contracts, half the league. Full super team. I don't know if I'd go that far, but they're good. They got a lot better. We're still waiting on this Kyle Lowry stuff. Part of me really does feel like that's the reason why. That's the reason why. Wait, what the hell? When did Joel Embiid post this? The Lakers starting 5, and it's... Is that One Direction? I know that's Harry Styles for sure. I don't know who these other doofuses are. I don't like watching TikToks. Hey, listen, I'm gonna be honest. A lot of the TikToks you guys send me are crazy. I don't know if this is copyright. Lakers did have combined 55-time All-Stars. You guys even see this? 46-time All-NBA. 17-time All-Defense. Okay, but I mean, those were all 20 years ago. Wait, was this the entire TikTok? What the fuck is going on TikTok? This is the entire TikTok? It's just a screenshot. It's just a screenshot of a tweet, and then like the guy's floor. And then this has 10,000 likes. Guys, I got it all wrong. This is the last time you'll see me on YouTube. I am moving to TikTok. I am relocating. I have got it all wrong. This guy's got 10,000 likes on a TikTok that's literally a picture of a tweet with this emoji and on a floorboard. And just annoying as fuck audio. What are the comments? Thanks. Oh yeah. The Bulls defense is going to be bad. For sure. But hey, you got Lonzo. You got two of the better guard defenders in the league, Lonzo and Alex Caruso. So there you go. Are the G League is going to expand to Mexico? That would be cool. There's been talks of like Mexico sports teams for a long time. Mexican sports teams, like NFL teams mainly. A team in like Mexico City. Oh, okay. I don't know what the fuck that was. I have to be careful on my Twitter timeline. In fact, I don't even know why I'm just perusing it on here. There's some wild shit on there sometimes. Is Schroeder going to go somewhere really cheap and it ends up being a good deal? That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. Kelly Oubre's still out there. Josh Hart's still out there. I mean, Reggie Jackson is still out there. George Hill's out there? No, that's right. He went to the Bucks after getting waived. It's Barron, people. For Goran Dragic, and that's going to be the offseason. Okay, that's it for me tonight. It's late. I got to go. Appreciate you guys for coming and hanging out. Gonna be doing these streams a lot more often. I'll probably chill tomorrow. Work on a video. I think I'm gonna drop a Shea Gilgeous-Alexander video tomorrow. But I appreciate you guys for coming and hanging out. I want to start incorporating Victor Oladipo hasn't signed anywhere yet. I want to start incorporating players or people calling in and talking. I want to start doing that. I think that'd be fun. I'm a little bit worried about how it could go, but I think it's gonna be fun. Jersey video. Oh my god, I totally fucking forgot about that. Yeah, I'm gonna do that at some point. The thing about the Jersey video, the reason why I keep putting it off is I don't really have like that's not a video that is like I have to get this out by within the next couple of days or else it doesn't matter anymore. You know what I mean? Like other videos that I focus on are more like, okay, if I don't get this out, if I don't get this out, then it's gonna be irrelevant if I wait a couple days. Like the topic's gonna be done. The Jersey video I can do whenever. When do we usually get updates on the new jerseys? Anyways, thank you guys for coming and hanging out tonight. I appreciate it. Oh yeah, and outside the Palace doc, I'm very excited about that. I will be watching that. I will talk to you guys later. Again, thank you for showing up tonight. Just to listen to me ramble on and talk and then rant and yell at the Dallas Mavericks. Love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Don't know when I'll stream again. I'm not entirely sure. But I will talk to you guys soon, okay? All right. Oh, 75th anniversary throwbacks. Yeah, some of those have already leaked, right? Okay, anyways, goodbye, guys.